The Falls Count Everywhere podcast would like to mention our friends at the following. For the most intriguing wrestling stories and info on independent shows in multiple regions, nobody does it like We Talk Wrestling. Subscribe to Facebook's #1 interactive community for professional wrestling today. Pro wrestling on Tuesdays are a blast with the Wrestle Talk podcast. Join the entire crew every Tuesday at 7 p.m. as they bring their takes on the major circuits, showcase interviews with various indie stars, and news on the #1 fantasy wrestling promotion, the FWWC. Visit them at facebook.com/WrestleTalkPodcast and at WrestleTalkCast on YouTube and X.
All of us here show appreciation and love to our first responders, military, and volunteers that help our nation as well as protect and serve us every day. Thank you for all you do.
Get ready for episode number 175 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast, as we welcome the young, determined rising talent to come out of the Midwest with the most serious approach to dominate his opposition. Strictly Business, Brandon Barretta.
Welcome to the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. The show starts in
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go! Welcome to the show. Buckle up tight. Rough cut Rick will be in the spotlight. Shell City Mouse is breaking it down. Best wrestlers podcast in this town. Blood and sweat in every word. Echoes of the ring, haven't you heard? Wrestling tales, raw and true. Podcast alive, bringing it to you.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome as we are back here for 2025. I still can't work a damn thing. Welcome, everybody, here to the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. It is
New year,
episode
new
number
me.
175. And man, I think I've had too long of a break. It's been a couple weeks. And it's good to be back here in the captain's chair, ready to go at it once again. We've got a big year upcoming, at least for the first half. And I'm sure we're going to have a lot for the second half of 2025 as well. But I am Rough Cut Rick Ruby here on the left. And of course, my compadre, my partner in crime to the right, the Gem City Mouse Zmiz. And buddy, it's been a few weeks, man. I missed you.
It's been a minute. Been watching wrestling and biting at the bit to talk about some antics.
Like we can talk about anything too as well. I mean,
I don't know. Some of the wrestling I've watched this week or the last I haven't been here in 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been 3 weeks, brother.
3 weeks, 3 weeks, and yeah, people have been sending me Mike. You know Mike from racing and stuff. He sent me some old videos of old stuff. A Shawn Michael Ted DiBiase match back in, was it AW?
It was like 84, I think.
Yeah. Where Ted DiBiase had the black tights, and Shawn was wearing blue jeans and the white T-shirt. You remember? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's. Yeah,
so there were two antiques. Not that they're bad antiques, because they're antiques you keep around.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I mean,
my favorite title came from one of those men. So.
Yeah, I know. So it was quite definitely quite a break that we had, and like I said, there's a big week, and we're going to get into the whole discussion of what we got upcoming here, or at least what a lot of things that's happened big this past week. We're going to talk about here as well. Very job well done for WWE. So
told you, Mike was there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know it made you look, and he didn't have long flowing blonde hair either.
No, I think Michael did at that time. No, he didn't. He was the short hair. You're right.
No.
Yeah, he was the short hair.
Yeah, because he also took that look down to Texas in World Class.
Yeah.
And I forget.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if he worked Rick Rude that match or whatever, but he had to do the job for somebody.
So
Why?
before
Good
we
to
get
see you,
in,
Wyatt.
oh my bad, you talking Wyatt. Before we get into all that kind of stuff, you always ask me. I'm going to step involved and ask you for once. Let's just celebrate you, because without you, 2024 would never have happened for Falls Count Everywhere. Without you, it's not going to go forward. Yeah, I bring a voice, but you're the heartbeat of it. How was your Christmas, my dude? You get anything cool, enjoyable?
Oh, I just got some. I've got a few necessities here because I get a lot of fancy things throughout the year. But the wife got me like a nice, comfortable Scully, and I'm actually trying to remember what I got because we didn't really do a lot. I mean, because we were kind of giving each other gifts throughout the course of the month. Because it's like, save it on wrapping and just get it to the kid.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
That's all. That's all it's about. I really just, honestly, you can't really put a price tag on what I want for Christmas on this year's, because all I was wanting is peace and serenity in my life at a norm that I can handle. You can't put a price tag on that because it's been way freaking nuts this past year. So, it is what it is, man. And it's going to get busy though, once again in 2025, and hectic and obstacles to overcome, but we can always overcome them. And of course, guys, make sure you're sharing that show. Hit that share button. Make sure you let people know that we're on right now. Probably because they're like, they didn't see us last week. They're like, maybe they're just taking a break for how long? Like, nah, we're on. I made the announcement. It's just, even God takes a day off every once in a while. Not saying I'm not on that level, but still, I'm just kind of making an example of that. So just in a short while, we are of course going to have our. Oh, you're not in this shot here, but Brandon Barretta is going to be here. I wonder why he took you out of the shot. Oh, I think probably no, because I had to get all my other guys that were in here that had to cover and help me out with the show or year in review, because you're sick, buddy. So, but hey, let's do this now. Yeah, now you're here.
I was gone, man. It's okay. Things happen.
So
things happen.
And there's me. So Brandon Barretta will be here in just a short bit. We'll talk about our upcoming upcoming appearances here in just a short while. But also we want to let, and of course, I don't know. Did I take out my? I think I did. No, I didn't. Yes, I sure did. There we go. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I haven't been in the studio for about 2 weeks, and now I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, perfect. We got it. I think I know where I'm going. Yes, I know where I'm going. Yeah, let's do this real quick. As hey, there's our guest right now.
There we go. Look at that.
It's gone wrong.
Oh my. Let's see if Matthew is watching. He'll probably, he won't want this stuff. Forget it. But hey, remember our shirts once again at thewokebrand.com. Make sure you get those. And yes, I know I pumped them out because we need you to buy shirts.
Your support matters.
My eviction notice came. I need some shirts. I need some shirts sold. Oh my goodness. And then real quick, also, once again, FanFest 3 is our big event so far, our biggest event, and we will be doing a simulcast on May 17th, straight from the Hilton Airport in St. Louis, just right across from the airport. And of course, we'll be starting our simulcast at noon. How long we'll go, it just kind of depends on our interaction and what else we want to do. So, but with that, further ado here, let's bring in here our guest, give him a bigger window. There we go. Oh my God, it's only 3 years in the business, and he is around maybe 6 states, 5 states at least, something like that. But just so many promotions and getting our start here properly with the Ace Wrestling Academy, and of course, he's none other than Strictly Business, Brandon Barretta.
There we go. There it is.
Yes, there is. Yeah, we do have a crowd. You just can't see them. So
I see him in the back.
audience.
I see him in the back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're in
The
the back.
Ashies.
This. Yeah, the ones that are clapping you can't see. So there you go. Everybody else is sitting on their hands. So so Brandon, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing good. It has been busy, to say the least. I mean, I had a couple weeks off, for the holidays and the New Year and stuff like that, but I was just in Louisville for, Thursday, Saturday, got home luckily before the snowstorm that we got.
Oh,
So, but then I fly to Texas this week and go down to Texas for a little bit. And then next week I'm driving up to Cleveland. So
yeah, look
it's,
at it. You're getting tickets to fly down to places to wrestle. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And paying the way, pay your dues, then they pay your way. There you
yeah,
go.
something like that.
And we continue to pay dues as the years go by in the businesses, as you will soon find out as you stick through. Because I'm here to tell you, if you talk to every vet, I'm sure they're going to tell you, yeah, your dues kind of come in installments until you decide to drop out. So,
Pay your dues here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! But
So it's a subscription. Is that what you're saying?
But you can't cancel it.
I could download a certain app and just get rid of it if I wanted, but make you save money. No, it's dues, man. It's like I don't know. I guess you could. I guess it's. I don't know. Is it worse than student loans? I guess we'll have to find out. It might be. So
For your body, yeah, it is worse than
Yeah.
student loans.
Shoot, yeah. I mean, gosh, let's talk about this whole weather. I mean, real quick though. I mean, gosh, it's gotten. I don't know how. I know because I'm literally I'm about 5 minutes from St. Louis Airport, Lambert
Okay.
Airport, and it's. Oh my God. My wife was coming in here just to tell me that our neighbor with our macho truck that he likes to kind of park behind our driveway, he was actually trying to get in his driveway and he actually got stuck in their yard and is at a catty corner now. So it's like I guess she didn't, I don't know,
Yeah.
when someone parks directly on the street right behind your driveway and it's like you have to cut
Can't
that.
get out. Yeah.
Well, I mean you can, but it's like kind of have to go up in your yard and to get out. So it's like,
He's basically where he's not supposed to be, is what it is.
well, I mean, technically you can't be there, but you could park a little. I know I'm in a tricky spot. So
You are in a weird location.
yeah, I'm in a tricky spot in life.
In life.
I'm gonna move. So we're gonna go and get things started off here, bud. So, like I said, it's been a few years here for you, and like I said, you've and from what I've seen, you've built up quite a resume, even in your 3 years. But as I'm getting my actually notes up here, I actually sent Zmiz the notes, and then I just put them away. So now I got to put them up again. Yeah.
Just
Did I mention those at the beginning of the year? So growing up as a child, who introduced you to the world of professional wrestling, and who are your favorite wrestlers to watch? And then also in that time before you got into the business, what was the best match that you've seen?
Oh man. So my first introduction to professional wrestling was actually, I had just moved back to the area to where I could go to the elementary school. I went to kindergarten and stuff too, So for fifth grade, I was back at the original school I was going to, and my buddy Blake, I remember it vividly because he had just got back, he's got a cast on his leg because he broke his leg racing dirt bikes. And he's sitting in the hallway, just both legs completely straight out back against the lockers, and he's holding a magazine. And it's literally the first day of fifth grade. And I come up and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm back. And then I see this, magazine. I'm like, who is that? What is that? He's like, oh, this is John Cena. You don't know who John Cena is? And he was still doing, Dr. Orthogonomics at the time. And I'm like, no, I don't know what that is. Like, what is it? And he's like, it's WWE. Like, you gotta, like, this is wrestling. This is cool. Watch it. So I go home and I was like, Mom, I want to watch wrestling. And then, like, she found out, Raw was on whatever, USA, and like started watching Monday Night Raw. And then I was so, fixated on wrestling that, like, we had a Slackers in my hometown, and she would go to Slackers, and, like, we were never, like, well off, I would say. Like, she was, I was raised by a single mom, and she always busted her ass to, provide for me. And when I wanted to watch wrestling and I wanted to see the pay-per-views, we couldn't necessarily get, we couldn't pay for the pay-per-views every time. So what she would do is she'd go get me a Slackers used old pay-per-view, and I'd watch that on the day of the pay-per-views that are going on. And the first thing I remember, like, angle, whatever you want to say, storyline that I actually remember being invested in was whenever Randy and Bob killed the Undertaker when they burned him alive.
Yes.
And because I was, I'm watching this on DVD, and I'm just like, they murdered him. Like, what do you, like, this is illegal. How is this on tape? Like, what are we watching? I was actually, like, so appalled as a kid of, like, what, they just killed that guy. I didn't understand the Undertaker and, like, his character, and I was just like, they killed a guy. They killed a man. These guys are terrible. And and then, like, just was always a fan of it, ever since then. And I would, of course, like, during high school, I feel like at least my generation, it was, oh, you watch wrestling, that's dumb, that stuff's this, that stuff's that, blah blah blah. So you kind of, like, are, like, a closeted wrestling fan for a short period, and then, like, once you get older, you're like, nah, screw that, I like wrestling, who cares, it's entertainment, I like it. And I would say the time that I kind of got to that point where I was like, yeah, I like wrestling, was like early Black and Gold NXT. And man, dude, I would just say at that time, one of my matches that I just thinking back, that I'm like, dude, I loved watching that match, when I was probably actually out of high school at this time, but not in the business yet. But I believe I think it was Adam Cole Ricochet. It's when he did Ricochet does the moonsault, goes for, like, a lion salt, and Adam hits him with the super kick there.
Yeah.
Like, that match is just, and to some, I would say some guys in the business, or even some wrestling fans, would be like, oh, that's high spot, flippy this, flippy that. But I'm like, that takes skill, dude. That takes athleticism. Like,
there's a difference between that and, like, a full-born New Japan or AEW match, because that one, they had that spot was done with so much precision. It flowed and told the whole complete story. Like, there was a story that fully was told in that match. I agree with you.
Yeah, and I look back at that match, and I'm just like, that was probably my favorite match for a long time. Watching that. And I know I think I had said it, earlier, but even just a recent match that I watched was just, Omega and Gabe Kidd. That was, everyone's going nuts over that. Yeah.
Beautiful. Some of Omega's best work was that match. And putting Kidd on the map like that. Not that Kidd hasn't been doing it. The guy's been making waves over there. That's the whole reason I actually tuned in. I'm sorry, Ruby, but I tuned in for Wrestling Dynasty, actually, and started watching Wrestling Kingdom. But I watched because of Kenny Omega's, like, return. Yeah, he's one of my favorites from the New Japan world. But yeah, that match was amazing. Ruby, you got to watch it. Like, it was good. Oh, yeah. It's not going to be your cup of tea 100%, just so you know, but it was good. But
it's a good match.
As long as there's a story to be told, then fine. But if it's a spot fest where I'm going to go, you could put in a circus ring, then yeah.
I mean, you would have had to hear some of the, like, story towards it, because it's about Kidd saying that he became Omega, basically. He, like, taunting him and whatnot, and then, like, the AEW New Japan rivalry that they're kind of building to, and if they keep going, AEW's on some good path right now. in my opinion, when it comes to actual storytelling.
Yeah, they just need to run smaller venues.
Yeah, it's atmosphere now is the issue. So, but this was a good card, dude. It was a really good show, and that match was stellar.
Oh yeah.
I'm
waiting to see. I knew it. I was
my favorite rookie just entered the chat.
You could probably see me just corner eyeing, like, please put that on there. Please put that on there.
Oh yeah, Texas is one of my favorites to sit down and talk to and stuff. That kind of goes into our next question, actually. In all honesty, so you came up the right way within the industry. You were a fan. You found a way in an avenue, and that led you to Ace Academy with Cowboy Bob Orton, Sean Vincent, Big Texan. Those guys that helped train you and stuff. What are some of the things that you learned while you were down there? And then how did that apply to the first matches and the lessons you pulled from, one, the training, and two, the first two matches going into your future professional wrestling now?
Man, I would even say I have one that still holds with me, now. And that's that the basics still work. One of the things that they taught us there is working your basics and doing them well and properly. You can work anyone, anywhere, in any style of match. And what I mean by basic is just like the fundamentals, like your body slams, your hip tosses, your a good collar and elbow tie up, a good headlock takeover, like stuff like that, is really what coming out of the Ace Academy was able to hold with me this entire time, was like using your basics, using the fundamentals, because like we were just talking about, with the spot fest, flippy stuff, is that type of wrestling is so oversaturated right now because everyone wants to do that style. Then whenever I come on a card or another Ace graduate comes on a card and we just do the basics, it's such a diversity to what they're used to seeing, because no one's used to seeing a match built up to a spine buster as a finish, which is what I did for 3 years.
Such a missed thing.
Like I would say that would be the biggest takeaway coming out of Ace, is just using the basics and being good at the basics, and how that makes you stand out compared to other guys who are quote unquote workers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree, because and also to and see, I think you probably post this with a CVV who recently had an interview with Diamond Dallas Page.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever Hunter was starting to do the cutter, he just did a cutter like a couple times, and DDP was trying to build himself up, and he actually called DDP called Hunter. He was like, "Hey man, I'm like doing that move as my finish, so could you like not do it as like a false kick out?" Or if you're not going to buy it properly, could you like not do that, please? So
DDP also talked about how he also talked to Bubba Ray about it, and Bubba Ray stopped using it for a small time being, so that DDP could make it more meaningful. Because now, like, you think about that, like, and this is what a missed move in wrestling for me is the spine buster, like a good spine buster. Because Arn Anderson, I don't care what anyone says. Like, I will argue this one to the day I go in the grave. Batista had a good one. Triple H had a good one, but nobody tops AA Arn Anderson.
Nice think of that motion.
It's just like the DDT. We watched Jake the Snake talk about the DDT and how it worked. He's like, but mine works, everybody else doesn't. Like it really means that if you could bring the spine buster back to that level, like, please, man, do it for the nerds.
I mean, like, for me, like, I do the AA spine buster, but, I call it the full clip. And like, it was kicked out the first person to ever kick out of it was just at the end of last year when I faced Kowalski for the SICW Classic title.
But that's a fair.
Yeah.
That's
like
you
that's what
gave it your all, man.
that's what. Well, I mean, he's 450 pounds. If you don't give it your all, you ain't you know.
But no, the basics. It's a must needed thing when it comes to the in ring work aspect. And I'm not even a worker. I just watch. And I learn everything else because I want to highlight those spots. You know, because being in the commentating world, I want to highlight it. And how do I still make value to this and add that shock to it? So yeah, basics all around. I'm with you.
They work great. Right now a big thing for me is the waist lock takeover. Like that's as strictly business. I couldn't tell you the last time I locked up with someone because the second that bell rings, I'm going for the waist. And the second I get a waist lock takeover on you, like I'm gator rolling you, I'm doing all types of stuff on the mat just to, confuse you, get your equilibrium off. And but the waist lock takeover, it's such a basic move, but if I give you a waist lock takeover, I promise you won't want to get back up. Like you're gonna have the wind knocked out of you or something.
Oh man, gator roll! Gosh, someone starts gator rolling me, I'm starting to scream.
I was just thinking, how the heck? I was legitimately thinking of this man right here, rest his soul, in his gator roll when he would grab dudes
Brody.
on Brody. Oh, dude, Brody's gator roll was brutal.
Dude, I'll hit you with gator rolls and a waist lock. I'll hit you with gator rolls and a front chancery. Like I'll roll you anywhere I can.
Now, when you were in high school and stuff, did you have athleticism in like football, wrestling? What avenue of athleticism did you have?
So I played football and then I wrestled. I played football longer than I wrestled, but then I got pulled from both for a back injury. But yeah, here I am, as a professional wrestler. So, I had my time where I was told no contact sports, and then I took that extended time off of where my body just healed. And, now my back just doesn't even bother me. So.
Yeah. Man. Well, yeah, I'll tell you, the back's nothing mess with because I even had. Well, I think I was like not even close to 7 years in. I already had like spinal decompression therapy, because I was doing some really, really, really tough, really hardcore stuff at the, like within my first couple of years.
Is that when you were doing moonsaults?
No.
Oh,
I was doing something. Yeah. No.
I know the audience might not be privy to that, but
No, when I that's when I left the BTF, that's when I quit the moonsaults. That's Backyard Trampoline Federation. So so there you go.
Coming back soon to your local Sky Zone, though. That's what.
Free ticket with food purchase. So anyway.
Oh man,
we are way off track now.
No, but I mean, I had I had taken some suplexes straight on concrete, in these armories, and in one I didn't get, I missed this, I missed the signal, and I landed weird and high on on my vertebrae. And then when I went and did the decompression therapy, and they did a whole X-ray of my spine. Like, what's this cyst right here? And I'm like, I don't know. So it looked like you fractured something probably about 4 years back. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of know where that came from.
Holy cow, bro.
So apparently I fractured a vertebrae. And I thought my back was hurting for like 3 weeks. I'm like, man, I wish I could get out of this back pain. So I'm like, that's probably why I fractured my vertebrae.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
Well, I know now I will never take a suplex on concrete. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't land in the payout wasn't that great either, so because the gate was kind of weak, and I broke my back for a couple of hot dogs. So,
yeah.
Oh, and a drink. So
and a drink. There you go. There you go.
Sweeten the deal.
Man.
Have a Bud Light to kill off the pain. Oh shoot, man. So so I'm next here. So basically, as you got through this match, you got through your few matches here.
Yeah.
You also you were venturing into the tag team division with
Yeah.
another graduate. And then you also feuded with one of your instructors. So, kind of give us an insight in the backstory of how you and Joe Vanetti teamed up and formed the Young Guns, and then also
The Young Guns.
I mean the
Top
Top
Guns.
Guns. Excuse me, because
We were young, Rick. We were young.
yeah. Compared to me, yes, you are young. And then of course also feuding with Sean Vincent that for the SICW ambassadorship.
Yeah. So the thing that's crazy, the show that Joey and I first wrestled on, I was booked in singles competition. We had trained together at Ace, but we had never tagged together, nothing like that. And then the guy I was actually supposed to wrestle in Sandoval, Illinois, didn't show up. So they're like, "Oh, what do we like? We're gonna figure something out, this and that." I think the go-to in professional wrestling is shoot, people didn't show up. Let's do a battle royal. So we did a battle royal that night, and I'm sure Tex remembers that because I slapped him with his own glove. But and then
Ballsy.
we ended up doing just randomly. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna have Brandon and Joey tag," and it was actually against Rick Ruby and Mauler McDarby, and we thought we were gonna have a good time, and then you guys quickly did not allow us to have a good time, and
That
but
was Lucky P. Larson's fault. So,
but at least
I'm leaving that
out
all
of
on
that
him.
match, it was realized, oh, Brandon and Joey, they got good chemistry. They work well together. They communicate well together. And it was like from there on out, we were tagging consistently on shows. And I think we tagged all the way through the end of that year. Then January 2023 hit. And that was the forming of the Top Guns. But right before that is right when I became the SICW ambassador, with, wrestling Sean Vincent in a no disqualification match. And so through the time that Joey and I are still like just kind of tagging consistently and like getting a feel for that and realizing, oh, this is kind of working, and still having to deal with Sean Vincent, like it was a very tough challenge early on in my career, because I'm realizing, okay, I'm being challenged from this direction, but I'm also trying to take this, forward, and towing those together was a very difficult challenge. And, Sean being one of my instructors, it was in my mind, one of those things that I think it wasn't the typical, teacher versus student deal that we were doing. It was, I think Sean saw something that he was like, almost in the sense of, kid's going to take my spot. I'm going to have to kind of keep this kid down a little bit. And he did for a little bit, but then when everything comes to blows and it's no disqualification, his tricks did not work anymore, because now I was also allowed to do the same to him, which then in turn, to this day, I'm your SICW ambassador, which I know just recently Sean tried to run his mouth about it, but it's like, for me, I'm like, dude, was he going out to all these different promotions and repping SICW on his back, or the Ace Academy on his back? No, sir, he was not. So I still have good faith that I'm doing a damn good job representing SICW as their ambassador anywhere and everywhere I go. And then as Joey and I continued to tag, we were, one of the things I would always say And it wasn't out of cockiness or arrogance, but it was that Joey and I are the best damn tag team in SICW. And I'm telling you now, Joey and I think our last tag match we've done together was against Attila Khan and Peyton Harris. And we may not have won that match, but we still were able to step in that ring and show that regardless of time apart, Joey and I are still the best damn tag team in SICW, with or without the championships around our waist.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have built quite a rep for yourselves, and we'll get more. We kind of revisit that here in a little bit, but I know, it's kind of, when you first get into like a new venture, like I got thrown all over the place, just doing, spot 6-man tags, battle royals. Then of course my first singles match ever was a TV taping against Bob. And like, I've only been in the ring, it just got out of my training for like only about a month or so. And I'm like, oh gosh. And then, yeah. So, I mean, it's something that sticks with you here, but yeah, I mean, it's learning curves, and it's,
Absolutely.
I mean, like I said, if you're going to, you have to really, know each other's movesets back and forth, and even wrestling each other would even kind of put you guys to know, how your defense is going to be. Like if you, study Joey's defense and he studies yours. So, I mean, you have to wrestle each other, Yeah.
I mean, that's like, where we had our time at Ace together. We were constantly training with each other. And,
Right.
one of the things is, at Ace is Bob is always, all right, you guys got 5 minutes, go. And it would be random pairings. It might be, me and one of the other trainees, or sometimes it was me and Joey wrestling each other. And that's where, for me, it was always we were pushing each other. I tried to push Joey a little harder, but, it was sometimes it just, you got to, come on, dude, let's hit me hard, And I think that always bettered us. So that way when we go out and tag, we're going to hit as hard as possible, and we're going to do whatever it takes to win, and keep the rules in play. But that's why I was always like the top guns. We train together, we travel together, and there was no other tag team doing that in SICW, So that's why I was always like, we are the best damn tag team in SICW.
Yeah. I mean, and it's also good too to come out of the academy, and then you guys are working together, and
Absolutely.
then, when you establish yourselves, and then knowing where you've been and who you trained with and where you're at as far as your work, then that gets around more. I mean, because it really depends. I mean, people who promote, or at least when they go out to do outside promotions, they look at where you came from and actually where you're working. So if obviously it's not going to work. And like, this guy said he was like wrestling for about 10 years and he had to drop out, but he trained me in his backyard. But he says I'm good to go. I had about 4 quick sessions. I'm good.
Yeah.
So
I'm good. Some back bumps and grass. I'm good.
Yeah. Sometimes be late, coming home after, getting done with doing the oil changes, and then, so no, but no, it really does matter. As far as where you're coming from, and that's where you get into these bookings. I mean, and it's always important to know you have to. I mean, if you're going to be serious in this business, you have to go to someone who's actually been at that big stage,
Absolutely.
or knows where that's at. So,
Absolutely.
and that, I mean, because you're not going to go anywhere else. And this is not just, it's good to get like these one-time seminars and everything else, but you need to get into like a regular training regimen with the individual who you meet.
Yep.
And then build from there. So, yeah, so definitely vitally important on that.
So after the top guns were gaining momentum, in SICW, you decided to take a bet on yourself. Everybody's talking about that, right? You know, that one lady in AEW, always betting on yourself, right? But
Oh
you
yeah.
take that bet on yourself and you go to a tryout for NWA, Control Your Narrative, ran by EC3.
Yep.
You go there and kind of take us through that experience, and then like who else got to see eyes on you, and maybe what kind of advice EC3 gave you or somebody else gave you as you're leaving that's going to carry you into the future.
Yeah, that was you know, so whenever I got into wrestling, it was the mindset I had was, okay, I'm gonna do this, you know, and it's gonna be a hobby. I'm gonna wrestle on the weekends, you know, whatever. And it wasn't until really that seminar and the conversation that I had with EC3 that like kind of flipped the switch where I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep working hard and I'm gonna keep, you know, honing my craft and, you know, working on myself physically and really be the best version of myself I can be. But I go and do this seminar, and that was actually January of 2023. So this was like, I mean, directly after Joey and I were like, you know, we're going to call ourselves the Top Guns, and we're officially going to be a tag team. Like we had our promo on SICW TV and was able to just basically say, we are here to be champions. And then at the end of that month, I went and did this tryout down in Chuckey, Tennessee at the School of Morton. So Ricky Morton's there, EC3's there. There was a bunch of guys from the NWA, Kerry Morton, which is Ricky's son, Silas Mason, AJ Kazana, and the whole thing was being taped for Billy Corgan. And that experience was, because I mean, I was very, very new to the business. You know, like I had just started wrestling matches February 2022, January 2023. I'm going to a tryout, right? And I ended up wrestling a guy there that I give a bunch of credit to because I think without the match I had with him, I don't know if I would have had that lasting impression with EC3 that I've had. And that's the Unchained King, Brandon Day. You know, he's out of Ohio. He trained under Taz when Taz had his dojo. And Brandon is just he's one of those guys that's a 20-plus year vet. He's an upstanding guy. And he did everything. I did everything I could. And the match just went as good as it could have gone at the level I was at, you know. And the thing that EC3 remembered, because I had a 60-second promo before the match and then working the match. And I mentioned that all it takes is one full clip spine buster. And, you know, I ended up hitting a full clip spine buster, and it took one. And the first thing he goes, you mentioned the spine buster in your promo, didn't you? And I was like, yes, I did. He goes, that's great that you're already learning to condition people. He was like, 'cause you have to condition the crowd to what you do. The people that see you regularly, you want them to know what your finishing move is, because then if it gets countered, they're like, oh my God, because they think they think you're gonna hit it. And then when you hit it, they're like, all right, he got it. But just conditioning. And the other thing, it was very open-ended in a sense. And I'm sure I could ask 3 today to see if he was kind of, you know, giving me the little BS, like, oh yeah, keep working, kid, you're doing good. But it was, he simply said, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but you have something. Keep working on it. What you're doing is working. Just keep working on it. And then I didn't see him for 11 months. You know, and all I did for those next 11 months was I kept working. I kept busting my ass in ring, outside the ring to, you know, get in better shape and stuff. But I still think regardless of that, like if it wasn't for wrestling Brandon Day, I wouldn't have had the impression left on EC3 that I had. And that was really a moment that flipped that switch from, okay, I'm just going to do this as a hobby to, no, I'm going to make this the best I can make it, you know, and see what I can really do here.
That's crazy you say that, because I remember seeing you guys work one of your first matches. I think it was at the Spooktacular. When God dang it, yeah, the Spooktacular thing. I can't remember the dang show's name 100%, but
yeah, that's the
you
one
guys
that
went
did it,
against.
third time.
You guys went against Darby, who were the. I'm drawing a blank right now. I don't know why.
Because we didn't wrestle the professionals at the time, right?
Yes, you're wrestling the professionals.
Oh, we did
Thank
wrestle
you.
the okay.
Yes, yeah. And I saw you there, and not that you had a bad physique there, but shortly after 2022, you really changed a gear, dude. You shifted hard, and you could see this is fun. I'm enjoying this kind of fandom thing, and then to no, this is 100% of business now. I'm in this.
Exactly.
Before we move on, what took that mentality to really, besides him, I want to know what was it in you that made that flip? Because I mean, it was him saying it, but there's a grit, there's a desire, there's a discipline that one has to have to make that flip like that, to see a different future.
Yeah, it was, I got into the initial reason I got into wrestling was to actually get into better shape. I was 286 pounds. I probably hadn't lifted a weight since high school. And, I was just working, sleeping, working, sleeping. So like wrestling was already kind of that motivator, like, cause I know even if I wanted to do it as a hobby, I got to be in some sort of decent shape. But then the second, and I had dropped the first time I met EC3, I was probably still 260, I was maybe 20, maybe 30 pounds down. And, then the next time I saw him, I was 235 ish and had put on, a substantial amount of muscle at that point. And it was really, I was already in it to get into better shape. But then the second that 3 said that, I also, professional wrestling at the end of the day, it is an aesthetic business, just like bodybuilding. You have to have a look, and I knew for me, I was like, I'm not the tallest guy in the world. I'm not. So my option, I can't go up. I got to go wide. So I was like, I got to put on a substantial amount of muscle to really look like somebody, to look like when I get in that ring, oh, this guy's going to whoop my ass, and that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. I wanted to walk into a locker room, walk into an arena, a venue, whatever, and they'd be like, yep, he's a wrestler. He is a wrestler. And I didn't want to be a guy that I could, I could sit third row as well. I was like, I was showing up in suits. I was showing up, in, nice dress clothes. And that was something that Bob, and Sean and Jim had always mentioned at Ace is like, if you want to be a professional wrestler, dress like a professional, be a professional. And that also comes to your aesthetic, your physique. Like, you look at these guys back in, the 70s, the 80s, they were all genetic monsters, that we would say. And even now, as the business has progressed, it is easier to get into the business when you're a smaller guy. But I didn't want to be the smaller guy that, just looked like every other, guy in a singlet. I wanted to look different. And there was no one really doing the trunk cut, butcher cut singlet either. So that's when I got my first set of that. And then I always joke now because I look back at pictures of my first one, I'm like, dude, that looks like a black hefty bag stretched around. It was not a pleasant. I literally said this. I was just down in Louisville 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, who let me wrestle like this? I was like, who was letting me go around like this, man? Herb was booking me like this. I was like, shoot, but it was that moment with EC3 that it flipped that switch, and I was like, I'm gonna get in the best shape of my life. Like, I'm gonna do everything I can because that's gonna show that I want this. If I'm willing to put in the dedication and the time to get in the best shape of my life, it's undeniable that I want this. And that's what I wanted it to be. Undeniable that this kid wants to do this at the highest level he can.
Nice. So So you were talking about the whole, how you started out. So let's kind of take a look at an example of what a hefty bag looks like
Dude.
in here.
That is my
This is
first day of
your
training.
words.
First day of training.
Yep. Your first day of training here.
It's not even the same dude, bro.
No, it's not.
Dude.
Yeah, so I mean,
Mad
it's not
respect, bro.
regular, but
Mad respect.
I know you got a picture of me in that singlet. I know you got a picture in that hefty bag.
Well, this is
thing,
you. Yeah, this is you training. This is you with on this next one. Here you with Curtis Wild. And
that was my first set of gear.
Yeah.
That does kind of look like a hefty bag.
Oh, wait till you see.
It looks like no, the cut off arm. Okay, so I'm a poor kid. We didn't get like raincoats and stuff, and when there was bad rains, you had to sometimes go get that big leaf bag because I walked to school.
Hey,
I'm so tired. I'm one of those 90 kids that felt the Gen X BS. So like I'm on the cuff, bro.
Yeah. I'm ready.
And I still had to walk to school uphill both ways in the snow, rain, all that kind of stuff. But you didn't want to get wet one day, and there was no raincoat because somebody ripped it or something. You'd go get the leaf bag and get. That's what I see right there. So I see the hefty bag.
Man,
I'm telling you.
But he looks aggressive. Yeah, I mean, you look aggressive here. I mean, I think Curtis Wild. I don't think he was playing too good by the rules at this point.
No,
and you're just.
No.
I thought he was trying to figure out why Curtis was doing a dance.
Oh,
I'm joking.
He was.
Curtis would whip all of us.
Yeah. Brandon's trying to wrestle. And he's not doing the cha-cha slide, so slide to the left. Oh, but no. And then you were mentioning about the singlet. Mm-hmm. Yes, we got a picture of the singlet. Here we go.
Look at that. Who let me wear that? Yeah, actually, Rick, you were in the locker room probably going, "Yeah, kid, go ahead."
Yeah. Well, you know what, bro? I got one word for you, Otis. Okay. Otis has got you. Okay. Otis is larger, and he's sporting the sing. Well, I mean, he's wearing more of a shirt these days, but
I wouldn't say. But Otis is also an insane athlete.
That dude is thick.
He is thick. Like I don't think that dude. I don't think he jiggles at all. I was jiggling. Like
he's beefy.
Yeah, that's all beef. That's straight man meat.
Dude.
Oh man, but you look at all that, and then we're just gonna go flash to one of your recent photos from last year, man. But
that was to Curtis.
Oh yeah. Here, I think in this picture though, I think you guys are contemplating since someone forgot the coin of who's going to start the match. So it's like you start.
No, you start. You go. This is pre Top Gun gear too. So like Joey and I didn't have matching gear. He just had all black trunks on. Like,
yeah. So at least you guys are color coordinated, and then and then this is more of one of your most recent photos. So you look at this, and then holy cow, 180. Look at this. So you know what? Hard work, dedication.
It's a difference.
Yeah.
You
so
are impressive.
It is a difference, and a tan.
Yeah.
It's all just a tan, actually. I'm just tan now.
Not mistaken, that got mentioned in our locker room today. Or the other day.
All because there's no pigmentation to your skin? Or
Static was like, does anyone know what a tanning booth is?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has been a long road, to say the least. And I still, I've got, with my current body, I'm still changing things. I'm still trying to continue to get in better shape. So I'll probably never be complacent with how I look is the issue now. Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, as long as you keep a good tone. I mean, it's always a work in progress because
yeah,
if like I said, others have slipped, and they found out the hard way that if you don't, then you don't keep that same look that you worked so hard for. So it's
absolutely.
yeah. It's-
Sorry.
but no, I mean, like I said, it's nice. It's really impressive, and like I said, this is I don't know, I don't know where this is taken, but I know you've had some promo photos of when for AEW
Yeah, yeah.
too, which is interesting though, because I know when they were down in where was it, Springfield, last year, I believe when AEW, but I know you and I think you and Giovanetti were part of the security team. I think.
I think it wasn't Springfield. We did Little Rock together in
Oh yeah.
Arkansas. We did Champaign, Illinois together. We
Okay.
did a, one or two other ones together. I don't remember what cities, and then I've done Cleveland with AEW.
Okay. Because I'm just kind of interested to see, because I see it, more of the local town that's been around my surrounding states, and who I'm actually trying to get on the show. Next thing I know, like, oh, now they're getting AEW promo pictures done, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a tough one. And then so did they just want you in gear for that photo, and then they just put you in like security gear for like that night? Because
Yeah.
or
So what the process with that is? Anytime you do extra work with AEW, you have to get promo photos
oh,
because
okay,
yeah, you have to. They want you. You have to bring your gear, get promo photos, which is obviously great for us, right? Because then we get to
right,
put them out there, we sell them, all that stuff. But for them, it's more okay. When we bring you in and do extra work, yeah, you may do security this time, but next time you might have a match, and if it's on Ring of Honor or Rampage or
right,
whatever, we got to have you promo photos so we can use it for match graphics. And they don't want to have to do that day of. They want you to already be ready and them have your stuff. Now the weird thing about it is they only let you update them every 2 years. So
uh-huh,
like I won't get new now unless you get signed, obviously. But like if I
yeah,
let's say I'm never signed to AEW and I keep doing extra work or something, I won't get updated promo photos with them until 2 years from last July.
Because you don't also want that like every time they come in, like do it. But I understand how that can get costly. I guess
yeah. I mean,
I get that.
yeah. I mean, even if you have a drastic change, so it's like someone could like start a big diet weight loss plan, and they're cutting like about 100 pounds, for a year and a half
Yeah.
from when they had it taken, and then
Hey, we need
slowly
this guy. He looks like this, and then they call you, and you wake up, and
That
you're like, "Oh, whoa, it's Brandon.
yeah.
We can't use you now, buddy."
Yeah, sorry. You look too different.
yeah, this photo's of this profile's a fake. It's AI generated.
Oh,
Um,
geez.
oh no, so yeah, so with that, I mean, that's like I said, it's hard work, dedication like that. That got you to another great story that happened earlier this year, and or last year, I should say, is when you received the call from Derek King, who was down in Memphis Wrestling at
Yes.
the time, and of course, Derek King has been around this business for quite a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And then so what was it like so you got a chance to explore new territory. So what was it like to show up to the Davis Arena in OVW, knowing you're getting ready to wrestle? And with the long history of that territory, whether it be in and out with its affiliation, and then even surprising, you had a surprise opponent that night that came full circle for you. So kind of tell us about that.
Yeah, so my first experience, with Derek obviously was being down in Memphis and working regularly with them.
Right.
Joey and I were going down and tagging, and Derek he had brought me in for a promotion that he books for in Arkansas called MCW.
Right.
And he had just asked me, he was like, "Hey, have you ever thought about going to OVW?" And I was like, "Yeah, at the time, like Sean Vincent, he was, wanting a couple of the ACE graduates to get their licenses for Kentucky so that we could, get down there." And I was like, "Yeah, I got my Kentucky license." He was like, "Oh, so you're ready to go?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Well, do you know who Tony Gunn is?" And I was like, "Yeah." At the time, Tony was their heavyweight champion. And he goes, "Yeah, I was basically tied to Tony for his first year, wrestling every single match of his." He goes, he said, "Send me a promo photo and I'll text it to him." Then I think it was like 2 or 3 days later, Tony Gunn, gets with me on Instagram and says, "Hey, show up at this date, for OVW." And, that day, oh man, dude, I show up and I got a dark match that day. And, my first match with OVW was actually Icon Lee, who is a guy on the independents. And, they basically were just like, "Hey, go out there. You got a 5-minute dark match pre-show, and they just want to see what you do." But that was my first time really getting to experience OVW. And the whole time I knew, at this point I had went to 2 more, EC3 calls his seminars a preface. So like sometimes at Exodus, before our shows, the day before, we'll host a preface for independent guys to come in, and we do a seminar with them. And I knew 3 was going to be there, but I didn't tell him. So I just show up, and I remember I just go up, you walk in the locker room, you shake everyone's hand, and he just looks at me and goes, "The hell are you doing here?" And I was like, "Wrestling," and he was just like, "Oh, okay. Like, all right, I'm going to watch your match, blah, blah, blah." And that was in April of this year. This past year, 2024.
Yeah.
And it was the match I had with Icon Lee was the moment that, EC3 had seen me January 2023. He saw me December 2023, just January 2024, and then there in April at the Davis Arena. And then that match directly after, it was, "I want you to come train in Cleveland. We need to get you to Cleveland. My school starts in May." And, he's the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion at the time. He's the OVW National Heavyweight Champion. And in my head, if he's telling me that he wants me to go, I got to make it happen. And that was the moment that, like, I would say that connection with EC3 was kind of cemented for me, because it was, now he really was seeing that. I would almost say the beginning of, like, actually I would say peak Top Gun Brandon Barretta is who he saw that night. But he knew that there was something more. And, that turning into, strictly business. And he saw peak Top Gun Brandon Barretta perform that night. And then that's what was like, you need to be in Cleveland, because where you want to be is where he's at. And he knows how to get me there. So that was kind of that, like Rick said, that full circle, moment of, okay, this is what I always say anytime I tell this story. That was the moment, in wrestling, when we're working a match, sometimes you hit that spot that you call a gear change. That was my gear change in my career. That was you got to kick it to a next level, because you're going to bust your ass to get to where you want to be, even more than you were doing before. So,
yeah. I mean, what a fabulous story, though. I mean, to even get, because at that time, he's carrying the national title. He's still world's heavyweight champion at that time, so he's got 2 major belts. And then you're working a dark match with this guy. Yeah, it's like, man, So the trainer that you would that gave you the advice to step it up, and then you're in the ring with him, and then of course it had to feel good after after that match was done. As far as getting the feedback from that. Yeah, and like I said, and then bigger and better things come throughout the year. So, and with that, I think he's got your next question.
So then with that next gear, that kick up, the start of 2024, you get back together, Joey, in SICW, you make a return facing down the LA Hustlers and challenging them in February for the tag team titles.
Yes.
Take us through the match, from beginning getting to the building, getting prepared, what you and Joey had to do to get your mindset into that match to go in there and take out the LA Hustlers and make the dreams come true.
Man, I will say that match is probably the first time that the amount of intensity I bring to the ring now, that was the first time I felt that. Ooh. Because I knew that match was a no disqualifications match. I had no disqualifications experience previously with Sean Vincent, but this time there's 4 of us, and there's so many more factors to it. And Joey and I have been chasing the SICW Tag Team Championships for, I'm not even joking, a year straight. Like, there were so many times that Joey and I had those titles won that we were cheated out of. And this was the time that I was like, I will die before I walk out of here without a championship around my waist. Because in my mind, and this is where, people, they want to, that was my reality. Regardless of what professional wrestling is, that was my reality. I was like, there's no way in hell that I'm walking out of this show without a championship around my waist after the amount of work I put in for a year straight to get to this point. And that's why that match was so intense, because if there was anything that was going to stop me from winning those titles, like, I don't think there was anything that was going to stop me. Like, I was going to do anything and everything I had to do. And and the thing with that is, like, making sure that Joey and I are on that same mindset, that same level. It's so important, because there's no way that I can go have that amount of intensity, but Joey wanted it just as bad as I did. So the second he saw that look in my eyes, he was like, oh, yeah, we're doing this shit. This is it. We are bringing them home. And that match, I mean, I remember, I know Joey gave, Lamont was trying to give him a pile driver, and Joey's back dropping him on the floor. I'm punching Bradley with their own chain. I mean, it seems like disqualification matches, for some reason, I like to set people in chairs and then just front flip my body into them. Tends to be a thing when I do no disqualification matches. We were just going all out in that match. And it is just, like I said, that was the moment that I first felt the level of intensity that I bring to the ring every day. That's not happening. And gonna pay me $1 million. Joey's the one with the tiger tattoo. That is his gimmick. I would get sued. It's gimmick infringement. I can't do it. But it was. I just knew in my head. I was like, I'm tired of being cheated. I'm tired of saying we're the best damn tag team in SICW and not having those championships around our waist, when I knew we were the best damn tag team in SICW. And that was our moment to just say, you know what? Everything I've said for the past year has been nothing but the truth, because it's my truth. It's my reality. And that was our day to shove that down the LA Hustlers' throats.
And the funny thing about that is we've been talking about you and praising you a lot. We do need to take a moment to praise Joey for his transformation, his growth in the business, because you really, a little brawler's coming out in him really hard the last year and a half. So that man's been on a mission too. You guys have just leveled each other up both times, and to see you guys finally win, I'm going to tell you right now, I was rooting for the Hustlers at first, but you guys kind of won me over. You two, throughout this whole transformation, you won me over in your tactics and your antics and your abilities in those rings. Dude, keep doing it. So, like, you and Joey were killing it.
That's what I think. Joey, he's in a sense kind of hit a gear change as well. You know, with the times that we have not tagged together, and he's facing singles competition, that's also upping him as well. You know, in the fact of it's making him have to think slightly differently outside of the tag team realm, to where, like you said, you're seeing that kind of brawler style out of Joey. Almost, I keep trying to get him to do it, but almost the Italian grit out of Joe Vanetti. And you know, it's one of those things that I think that's something that's kind of getting drawn out of him naturally, with him getting more singles competition. You know, and that just means anytime we're tagging together, it's only going to be better and better, because we're both just leveling up every time we wrestle. And then when you put us two together, that's no good for anybody. Like, it's...
Yeah, no. But I mean, just to have the night. I mean, where does that, to you personally, where does that win rank in your career to this point in time? If I had to put you on the spot, of course.
Easily a defining moment. Easily a defining moment, because, like I said, that February 2024, and then 2 months later, I'm having the moment at OVW with EC3, starting that gear change. Like, February was still peak Top Gun Brandon Barretta. That is still, you know, that early 2024 is just, I was still going up in ring work, body transformation, tag team work, like everything, mentality, everything was just going up. And that was kind of like that capping moment, I think, for us as a tag team, to be able to say, like, everything that we've done thus far, like, this is that moment that is paying everything off. And I hold that moment very high, because I will say, like, the amount of family, friends, the SICW, like, loyal fans that we've had there as well. Like, they got to see the intensity in the beginning, and then they got to see the true emotion in my eyes at the end when I'm holding my first championship. And it's alongside Joey, who is a guy that I've trained with, worked countless hours with on the road, going to different shows, working different states, and honing our craft together, and just kind of taking that moment and realizing, like, everything that we've done for a year, like, this is more than deserved. We absolutely deserve this moment. And this is I know for a fact, I looked at him, and I'm holding the title, and I'm not going to say the second word, because I don't know your guidelines with vocabulary here, but I just said, this is our effing moment. And, you know, I know SICW is a PG show, family friendly, but in that moment, that was just the true emotion of, like, this is ours. We earned this. And definitely a defining moment and a defining win, you know, in my career.
Yeah, like you said, the Hustler's been around the block, you know, around many states, and they've gathered a name for themselves too. So, I mean, you know, definitely a great accomplishment.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I could see a classic title around his waist. Yeah. I could.
Hey, I think it'd look nice. And an all-black singlet, too. Strictly business.
You have the word hefty on it, so I mean. Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to wait. It's been a while. I don't know. Yeah, I did do at our year end. We kind of did the best of, but we actually are going to move to our segment we like to do with our guests most of the time. And
Uh-oh.
I know that we usually like to kind of cut a little humor. Hopefully, you'll be able to laugh at some of these. So we'll see. Uh, but first time of the year, guys, is this first week's time or first time of the year where wrestling's gold beam. So let's get it going. There we go. And so it's this week's wrestling gold memes, and we got a special edition signed for this week. So
Oh, dear Lord.
this is the Too Hot Pizza Roll edition.
Where do you find these photos? Like, I've seen the Macho Man one, but
Dude, the things you can find on the internet and Reddit is a dark hole for wrestling.
Reddit's a dark hole for a lot of things.
Oh, I mean, for a lot of things, you're right, but like wrestling memes, oh my god, some of the Crispin Wall ones. Whew.
Oh, brother.
Oh,
Actually, hang on. Little side note on the Crispin Wall. The first time I wrestled in Memphis wrestling, for some reason, that's the only chant people would yell at me. Like, they just kept calling me Crispin Wall. Crispin Wall never wore a singlet, a butcher cut singlet that I'm aware of. And I also don't look like the guy. And I also wasn't doing German suplexes or crossface. And I could make jokes there, but I'm not. Like,
it's
all right, Micro Lesnar.
Yeah. Yeah. And let him call you Brock Lesnar Jr. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
oh, we're gonna put it up there again. Oh. There's Jim's 15 seconds of fame.
Oh no, Texas always famous here. He's my favorite rookie.
No, we actually saw a skinny kid. I sent the
the title poster.
Oh,
there's a kid in Chile that came out
Lesnar
and with Brock Lesnar's music, and he was wearing the belt. He did the whole pose and everything, and the belt just like went down his entire waist.
Yeah, dude.
The Lesnar flop.
And then he gets mad and flips off the crowd.
But the funny part is Brock's actually done that too. Remember when Brock did it and the title fell off him?
Well, at least it
was on
busted up.
SmackDown.
This thing was so skinny, it fell down his freaking. Lucky his pants stayed on.
Oh my god!
All right,
that's crazy.
My cheekbones aren't going to handle these golden memes probably.
Yeah. So for our first one here, kids watching wrestling during the Attitude Era and their heroes are the APA.
No.
Yes, 100%.
Where are their parents? I'm so confused. Who bought them the beer? I'm so like, what?
I have so many questions.
It's old duels. It's okay.
Are they sitting in a chair together? What's going on here? Like, I see one seat number behind them.
APA definitely was one of my favorite things.
Oh yeah.
I'm calling Bush NA and that's in the cup. So
I'm gonna tell you it's probably not.
Yeah.
It's apple juice.
Hey, it's 10 years old. You've got that craving taste for hops. It's it's natural. And then our next one here. It's
I got a story about Mercedes.
Is it good?
I put her in a shoot waist lock and picked her up off the ground.
That's awesome.
On a
I'm not saying she's a bad person by any means, but I can't stand her. She's annoying.
Yeah, see, this is a two-parter. You didn't see the next part. So,
that's all I needed to see. Like,
that's how I get told I got to do a security spot for one of her segments.
Oh god dang!
God.
All right, I'm gonna head out.
I'm gonna head out. I'm not gonna. Her match with one girl was pretty good on Dynasty, so I'll give credit where credit's due. She's still not my favorite. She's still annoying. I'm not gonna chant for her.
Oh, what do we got for our next one here? Oh yeah, when McDonald's tells you that their ice cream machine is down.
See you, Texan.
See you, Jim.
Yeah, he's got to work in the morning. You know,
Oh,
city
grown up
work
stuff.
sucks. Probably better than my job, though. I'll tell you that. But yeah,
At least you don't have to fix the ice cream machine.
Yeah, at least you're not that guy on the
I'd rather
screen.
fix the ice cream machine.
Dave wouldn't be the one fixing the ice cream. He's the one putting the dude through the table. Be right. Rick be throwing people.
It's still running.
He's like, I see it. It's working.
He's holding it up there. See, it's not working. It's not going in there.
Gosh.
It's not funny.
Poor-
I worked at McDonald's before.
Poor Ronald. You need your big old clown shoes.
Fixing those ice cream machines suck.
And there we go. Here's our next one.
Renee, be respectful.
Did you guys see the clip of the Usos whenever Ricochet came in the ring with a mic and he was like, "Hey Jim, look, it's a mic. I don't think he knows how to use that thing."
Oh yeah.
Dude.
Be careful now. Be careful now.
He is terrible. There's a new meme going around where it's him in WWE, and then his transition to AEW, and he turns into Adam Tate.
Oh my god.
Poor guy.
Dude, he's funny. I still like Ricochet. I want to just put him back under a mask and don't let it make him talk. That's all you got to do.
And our last one is also going to be last one's going to be a two-parter as well. And I might have to read it because it's kind of small, possibly. You know, when you make claims to have your best year throughout your entire field of work, and it's a Fox Business Tiger says, Tony Khan stating that 500 million people attended 110 plus live show during AEW live events in 2024. And
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I think this is a award we need to give out. Jimmy is like low key best comedian in wrestling right now. When it comes to like some of his dumb little antics that he does, like, he gets me every time.
Him and Solo. Solo's like winning people over with like all these
people
famous
are so wrong with Solo. That dude is baller,
dude. Like,
Solo's the dude. Solo's the dude. that promo that Solo and Paul had this last SmackDown.
Oh. Yeah, it was good.
Oh, dude, you can't write that stuff.
yeah,
No.
yeah, that was great. That was great stuff, man. Yeah. So, by the way, none of these memes had nothing, and Brandon Barretta had nothing to do with them. If you have a grievance, you can always write your grievance to Falls Count Everywhere.
No, just direct it all to Ruby because I'm a fan of AEW. No, just Tony does do too much.
And then I'll reply with the laughing gif. So, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
But that's this week in wrestling old memes. Remember,
That's
wrestling
good.
memes always too hot to handle. Everybody, too hot to handle.
Dude, the Mercedes Monet one was good just because we talk so much crap on her.
It's beautiful. I love it.
Nice lady, but you know.
Yeah. All right. Well, so let's see. So I've got our final one here for you here. So after this past year, what were your biggest challenges and accomplishments overall from 2024 in of course in the business? And then what lies ahead for you coming in 2025, and what achievements are you looking to dive into and hopefully to achieve in for this upcoming year?
Yeah. So I mean, as much as a gear change that me starting that training with EC3 in May was, that was also the moment that I started challenging myself in so many different ways, and realizing how thin I have to stretch myself, to do everything that I was doing. In the ring, it was the amount of traveling that I was doing. I was driving 8 hours every Monday morning to Cleveland, Ohio. Then I was sleeping on an air mattress Monday night, Tuesday night, training Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and then driving 8 hours home to then work, Thursday, Friday, do shows Saturday, Sunday, straight back to Cleveland on Monday. And then it kind of kicked up another gear when I started doing OVW regularly, because then it was drive to Cleveland Monday morning, train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sleep on an air mattress Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and then drive to Louisville, Kentucky, wrestle in Louisville, then drive home to St. Louis to then work Friday, and then do shows Saturday and Sunday, and then do the same thing for the next week for 6 months straight. And the biggest challenge I will say out of 2024 was, and this is, in ring and outside the ring, is mental and physical well-being, because my body took a beating this year from the amount of time I spent in a car to the amount of time I spent in the ring, the amount of time I spent training, the amount of time I spent working shows. Like, it was easily the most challenging year I've had of my life. It was one of those years that it was like, dude, this is make or break. Like, this is either I keep doing this and I make it happen, or something's going to break, like mentally, physically, financially, something that was going to be like, all right, yep, I'm not going to be able to do it at this capacity right now. And I just kept pushing through. I kept pushing through because that was that drive, that work ethic, and that mentality of like, I'm going to make this something. And that then led me into what 2025 looks like. There's a book called the 10X Mindset, and I can't quote the author's name, but it's the 10X Mindset. And in that book, it talks about the 80-20 ratio. And every time I talk about this, it sounds weird at first, but then I explain it in wrestling terms. So basically, the 80-20 ratio is the things that you put 80% of your time into are only providing you 20% of your results. The things that you put 20% of your time into are giving you 80% of your results. So looking at it from wrestling and looking at it going into 2025, I'm looking at the places that I put 80% of my time into are only giving me 20% of my results. So the places that I was putting 20% of time into that are giving me 80%, I need to make them my 80% of focus. And then that doesn't mean, you don't work, these other shows, like when I go to Arkansas. Like, it's not that I'm going to slow down working, but I'm going to be working places that are giving me good reps, good exposure, and good finance, financially. It's got to make sense out of those three. And with what my goals are in 2025, where I wrestle, what I do, also has to be in the same trajectory of going towards that. And I've got the logo on my chest. The NWA is by far what my goal is for 2025. I want to be there. That is that first level. I look at promotions like NWA, TNA, even places like, the New Japan over here in US, in the US side, larger independent companies that can put you on some sort of deal where you can wrestle full time. That is my goal in 2025, is to either be closer on a radar, or I'm just full blown, wrestling full time. And I feel like that's kind of the 80-20 ratio can allow me to force that trajectory even more than I already have. But to continue to be building a name for Strictly Business Brandon Barretta, I feel as if doing that has gotten me a lot of traction over the past, since June and July. Continuing to hone that in and do that everywhere I possibly can, and bring in 2025 as the year of Strictly Business. That is my goal for 2025. It is it is all business for me this year. Like every decision I make, business wise, wrestling wise, is simply and strictly business.
Yeah. And like I said, 2025 is going to be a big year, even a bigger year in wrestling, I believe. I mean,
Yeah.
not just for the bigger brands, but for others who are trying to make names for themselves in the business. So I mean, I totally get it, and I, if it means that you're getting more exposure to go other places, and um, getting that more opportunity, and also to do this at a full time basis, that's, I mean, definitely kudos to you for doing that. And if it means you got to step away from the local level more, and then concentrate on that, yeah, you got to go for it, man. This is your opportunity.
Dude,
So
I think that's the thing, like with, looking at the, local area, SICW is always the home. That is where I started. That is always the home. And I will always be at SICW, and I think that's the thing of like, unless it ever came to a point, obviously, when you're like a contracted wrestler or something like that. But
right,
regardless of that, prior to that, like, there is never a moment in time that I'm never going to be like, I would never leave SICW, if you get what I'm saying. Like, it would be, I would always be a St. Louis SICW guy. And just, I would say on those, taking those extra bookings is, because a lot of guys, they wrestle, 2-3 times a week, or they wrestle every single weekend. But it's like, cool, can I do that? Or maybe I wrestle 2 times a month and or 3 times a month and it'd be a quality rep. It give me exposure in the sense of getting my name out there, and then it's good, financially. I think is the biggest way I'm trying to look at it this year, because, in the beginning, it's always go out, get your reps, get your reps, get your reps. But then you get to a point where you need quality reps. They have to be good reps. You need to be wrestling guys that are going to take you to that next level, and push you to that next level. And I think that's where is what I'm really seeking, is that, okay, I want to be pushed to the limit in 2025 in ring. Like, I want to be pushed to the absolute brink in 2025, because then that's how you get to that next level. That's how you push yourself, is finding that breaking point and then breaking through it. And then that's when, as a professional wrestler, you continue to grow. And, like I said, every single thing I do in 2025, it's whether it's SICW, whether it's NWA Exodus Pro, whether it's OVW, whether it's Mid-States Wrestling, whether it's NWA World League Wrestling, NWA itself, wherever I am, any decision I make is going to be based on business.
yep, yeah. So I mean, you've got you got your feet wet here for a few years now. You kind of got the gist of it. Now it's time to capitalize on a little bit more with that. So, like I said, you got a busy month coming up.
Oh yeah.
Starting with this coming weekend, you're actually heading down to Texas, I
Yep.
believe, for an NWA pay-per-view.
Yeah. I'll be present for the pay-per-view. I'm going down for that. And then directly after that, the next week, it's OVW and then NWA Exodus, and then finishing out, January with OVW, and then February it picks up as well, with some dates added in there. I mentioned WLW, which is another NWA territory. Jason Jones promotion with Mid-States Wrestling,
Yep.
SICW, OVW weekly through that, so it's February's going to pick up and be, hot and heavy right there.
So I got to ask. So you say you were busy this past weekend. Were you at the 30-man Rumble?
I was.
Dude love.
I saw the clip here of the confrontation between Jack Vaughn and Dude Love.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what in the world? Foley's gone nuts. And
Yeah.
it was great. Hey, at least he had some great colors though with purple and green.
Oh my God.
Dude, I love the get up. Like the outfit was way cooler than it was in the 90s.
I love that spot. That was cool. That popped the arena for sure. That was great though.
It was a good moment because it was advertised, Foley not being there, and then
so
Dude Love's there. And I think this is just kind of a moment for me too that I'll share. I've met Foley a couple times. Never has he known my name. I'm walking in the back, right in the little hallway, Al's office there, Gorilla's there. Foley walks through, getting ready to go to his spot to go out. And he goes, strictly business. And I'm like, cool. He watches the product. And that's just a moment that I'm just like, I've seen him, at OVW before I was really doing strictly business or anything there. And, it was just one of those moments. I'm like, this is what I'm talking. Like when I talk about business, this is what I'm talking about. Like this is where that traction's happening. Is those moments like that. JBL was there as well. He's done our fan fest, so it was cool to see him again.
Better stay off the radar for his clothesline, bro. He is hitting anyone and everybody.
Man, dude, he clotheslined EC3 last night.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like
I was like, dude, like, what am I supposed to do in that predicament? Like, I'm not going out there.
I'm just loving how he's just doing that spot. Not only that, he's doing it in the TNA and he's done it in the GCW. I have no idea what he's and the thing is that we never know what he whispers in the ear, and that is a story carrying across other promotions. Wondering like, what the hell is going on? He keeps showing up in these places.
It's Vicky's favor.
That is a story. Out here, that is a story, man.
Yeah, and last night the story was, he helped Doug Basham win the national heavyweight title.
Yeah, Doug's now our champion, and he's part of the cabinet. Remember, he was part of the cabinet, bro.
Long-term storytelling.
All right, yeah.
Old leather daddy Doug is the national heavyweight freaking JBL.
Leather daddy Doug. Wow,
dude, have you not seen his outfits?
Yeah, he's all OVW's getting hot, bro. Again,
and the thing that's ridiculous is he shows up like that. Like he shows up in leather.
Oh my god,
dude!
I mean, even in summertime.
I mean, as long as I've been around and the Revolution thing has been an issue, like he's got leather pants on.
Dude, nah, bro.
No.
And when they first got on the WWE, they wore leather pants too.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I'm kind of fluffy. I need mine stretchy and spandexy, so it's okay.
Those are real leather because they look stiff to walk in sometimes.
Dude, getting leather pants off me is like cutting like a sausage casing or something, just so I can free it up. It's bad.
Oh my
god. Well, that's awesome that you got a chance to get to experience that last night. There was the 30 and then the 20 woman rumble.
Yeah,
that was there too. Oh man! So and of course they're on Triller or Triller or Fight. I don't know. Is it Triller buy them out?
It's Triller. It's Fight.
Yeah,
it's whatever they want to call it. They had that pay-per-view last night, and then I'm not sure. They haven't announced the next pay-per-view. So I was like, I know they got one, I think, in early 2025 too.
Yeah, I need to watch that one yet. I was watching Wrestling Dynasty last night, so
yeah.
Man, no, man, but it's awesome that you got a chance to stop by, share everything here tonight. I mean, like I said, just a few years, you just had a whole lot going on, but it's a lot of good things, and of course, a lot of better things in 2025. So,
it's going to be a year, to say the least. It is going to be a year.
Yeah, you may be too busy. You may be too busy to stop by SICW as often, man, because you're being pulled from every which way but loose.
He's the ambassador. He has to hold up to that because we don't want that dirty Canadian back there.
Yeah,
And
you know,
I do like.
Dude,
you know, he can hang on to that title for what he wants because Sean held out for the longest time, did nothing with it. It's like I'm a ambassador.
I was gonna say, hey, as long as I'm going out and representing SICW and Ace Academy, I think that ambassador title, you know, is mine.
Yeah.
And
How many
if
embroidered
anybody-
SICW shirts you have? Because we need to stock you up on those.
I know I need a tracksuit. That's
Yeah.
Tell her,
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that'd be sick.
Dude, you know, I'm just gonna say this right now. Everyone, you know, ribs on me for wearing the Exodus tracksuit, but do you guys not know how comfortable these things are?
Dude,
Like,
it looks comfy.
it's
It does.
fantastic. I'm not even wearing a shirt under this thing, dude. Like, it's just
Looks
the
like
jacket.
pajamas. No.
It's so nice. And then, like, if we just had those, oh my gosh, dude. So, like,
Yeah.
where these came from, I'll give you the backstory on them. Is the NWA Back to the Territory show? All right, this past year, EC3's like, we're the top territory. We're the top territory. We got to look different. We got to look different. So how do we do that? We get tracksuits and we show up to the pre-show meeting late, so that everyone has to watch us walk in a single file order in tracksuits.
Dude, that's funny.
So
That's
I'm just
aw-
saying,
that's awesome.
SICW needs tracksuits because
Nick Ridenauer, are you listening? Nick Ridenauer, come to the front. Nick Ridenauer.
Nick, come on, Nick, get the tracksuit, or at least just get me one. I don't know, like,
Hit one, bro. Yeah.
you know.
I don't know if
Come
I
on
see
now.
anybody else come into the locker room in a tracksuit, so it's fine, you know. And Nick can do that.
I don't know. I can see Glenn. I can see Glenn. Probably
Glenn
a few
needs
others.
something sparkly is what he.
Yeah, I was like,
That's
Glenn,
what he likes.
that or
Why did I just get pictures of like a disco ball walking in?
Dude, have you seen his freaking wardrobe?
No, yeah, I know, but like a
I was
tracksuit
gonna say,
style, like
I was gonna say, have you seen his head? That thing shines like a disco ball.
hey, yeah.
He said, "Yeah." Don't let him oil that thing up. You'll
Yeah.
be blinding people.
Dude, if you could get like a sequin Scully, that he would literally be a freaking disco ball. You know, if you put a pin on it.
R.I.P. But he's bringing him back, man.
Mike knows what we're talking about. Give us the button-down side SICW tracksuits. Oh man.
There
Then
you
Joe
go.
can get one that says Italian Grit on the back.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Dude.
Top guns right there. It's all.
Who-
You can
someone
rip them
let
off.
Someone let me into the
Strictly
kitchen and I'm cooking, all right? Like,
Shoot. Awesome. Well, man, I'll tell you what. Yeah, so you'll be in SICW in February.
yes.
So yeah, I guess we will see you then. But man,
Yes, sir.
keep rocking out that, man. Getting OVW regular work, dude, that's awesome. And hopefully, you know, much bigger and better things for them as always.
Absolutely.
So I guess I could say I got an OVW superstar another one I've interviewed, you know. And it's been over a year since I had Ari Alexander on here, but you know, I still had.
Yeah,
you know.
she was there Saturday. She was in the women's rumble.
Oh yeah, no, she's great. You know, we saw her down in Corning, Arkansas last year.
Yeah.
Great lady.
Yeah.
Great lady.
So
That and oh god dang it, the chair dude.
Jake Wallace.
Yeah, Jake Lawless. I'm terrible with names tonight, dude. It is freezing up. It's
Freezing
locking up. It's locking up
The
on
cold
me.
weather, dude. The cold weather's getting to your brain.
yeah, brother. Yeah, but man, I'll tell you what. I mean, where can people find you on social media?
Man, so obviously Facebook and Instagram, those are the same, where it's Brandon Barretta 98, and Barretta is BARRETTA. And no, I did not steal Jeff Jarrett's gimmick. That's just how I spell it. And then on Twitter or X or whatever it's called, I just got on there probably like a month and a half ago, and that is a B_Barretta 98. So those are all the socials for you.
Yeah,
Get at me on Twitter because I need Twitter bad. Like that's
Yeah, no,
Building that
we're
thing.
still trying to build ours up, you
Man.
know, and hey, but at least you're following us. So I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you follow back, but we'll make sure we're on it. So,
I already followed it back. Don't worry. But
Okay,
I've been
thank
having
you.
troubles trying to get mine to link to his.
oh, I got you, man. But oh
It's wanting-
man,
my Twitter wants me to get verified.
oh yeah,
Uh-oh.
yeah. So so I mean, I know I'll see you in a while, but Z, you got any party words for Mr. Barretta?
I knew this was gonna be a fun night. That's all I know. Like
Yeah,
it was gonna be. This is one of those times where you go, we're taking the night off. Like
Yeah.
it was gonna be super easy, super simple. We were gonna have great conversations. Like I knew it. Thank you, sir, for coming and joining
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you for the stories. I'm glad to see another because I mean I'm on the older spectrum of getting into the business than you, but we're still right there at the same time. Got into the business. And it's just cool to see us keep growing and stuff. I know you went the other way. I'm going a different route, but that's like it's awesome and it's a great time to share stories like this. So
It has been a blast. I appreciate you guys having me on. You know, it's seeing you guys do it at FanFest and stuff like that. I'll tell you what, I'm not gonna lie. I was waiting. I was like, when am I gonna get to do Falls Count Everywhere? When am I going to do that? And so I'm glad it finally happened. And then what I will say, my parting words here.
I like how he just put strictly business right here, man.
Well, the business that I'm about to be very strict about is that everyone that's watched this so far, I need them to like, comment, subscribe to Falls Count Everywhere. And then also comment if you guys want to see Rick do a moonsault at a Sky Zone. Because I will pay out of my own pocket to make it happen. If I see, and here's the thing though, if I see more than 2 comments, brother, we're doing it.
So we need you to make sure you like, subscribe us, and then tweet him or add him in Instagram stuff with it. Let's do this. And this has been an ongoing joke because we played video games, Ruby and I, sometimes together, and we played 2K on occasion. And I thought it'd be funny to see him do it. And I have not made the character yet, but I want to, so we can see a moonsault.
I'm trying to give you the real life.
Yeah, you're probably gonna make me up. You're gonna give me like Fuego del Sol's like moveset or something. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
no, that's funny. No, I'd give you Ricochet or like Will Ospreay. Somebody legit. I'm just kidding.
Give him Mysterio. Have him doing 619.
It's been a good time. This has been fun.
I love it.
My
I
gosh.
appreciate you guys.
Yeah, Brandon, man, thanks a lot for chiming here tonight, man. Like I said, we appreciate you, and we'll see you down the road, man, for sure.
Yes, sir. We'll see you here in just February.
All right, man. Thanks, man. You take care.
Thank you.
All right. Well, bro, that was Brandon Barretta. See, that one. I need to stop duplicating my scenes because we need to go to this.
Yeah, that kind of worked out. Like, that's a good scene right there.
There you go. So, like I said, I know, we had a really good time with Brandon Barretta. So, well, like I said, he'll be at SICW in February, but of course, this is this coming Friday. I will not be able to make the show, but Friday night, January 10th. This Friday night. Big main event as a tag team here at the Belclair Fairgrounds, SICW, Belleville, Illinois. Of course, doors open at 7. Doors open at 6. Bell times at 7. Excuse me. So big event here is Kowalski. So we got the Central States champion and the Classic champion teaming up. Kowalski and Big Nasty Glenn Williams facing off against the modern day Spartan Bobby D. I guess that's something new. And Silverback Joel Helms. So
I kind of see it. I'm with it. Let's see what Bobby has planned, man. Bobby's still my dude.
Yeah, all 4 guys have monikers, so can't go wrong.
Look at us 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. All of us got monikers. Everybody gets a moniker.
Everybody gets a moniker. It's like
you
Oprah.
Get a moniker. Shut up, Oprah. So that's this Friday night. And then, of course, Saturday night, January 11th, this is where I will be. This is American Championship Wrestling at the Eagles, Merrimack Eagles in Arnold, Missouri. 1723 Jeffco Boulevard. Tickets are $6, and of course, front row is $10. If you want to get your front row tickets in advance, you're gonna have to go to acwtheshow.com, or you can scan the QR code on this poster. And I will say that there will be tag team implications as far as, because the Lumberjacks still hold the tag titles and we haven't done anything with them yet. So apparently there's going to be an announcement. And from what I heard, I'm in a tag team match. I don't know if I like my partner so much for some reasons, and I don't know. We'll get into that, but I don't know. I'm feeling that 2025 I'm gonna have to change some things up. Let's just say that, and it may have to start this coming Saturday night. But of course, everybody here on the card is scheduled to be in action, including Ms. High getting another shot at the women's title against Selena De Niro, and then it's just a good time to head all around. So make sure you're getting down to the Arnold Eagles on Saturday, January 11th. And then the following Saturday, January 18th, you're going to be here, my friend, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
And
Can't wait to get
GW
back
with
to
Endless
NGW.
Winter, and that's at the Lou Civic Center, Muscuda, Illinois. And of course, you can scan the QR code here. Adult tickets are 10 in advance, 12 at the door. And of course, you can go to New Genesis Wrestling on Facebook to find them. So, then I think Redneck Championship Wrestling also January 18th. Why it's got in there? Yeah, Johnny Devine has got to give me some information on that. So those are our appearances here, and we're going to go ahead and get to our discussion here. First of all, let's go to NXT, and we're going to go ahead and just go to our little setup here. So, I'm going to put up here for last Tuesday, of course, was New Year's Eve, and there were a match here in end year results. There was. I don't think there was really that much of. I'm trying to remember what the matches were. I think Lola Vice and Kalani Jordan, and of course, I think Lola got the win. And there's just a couple of setups and everything else. But New Year's Evil is actually this coming Tuesday, so big implications there. I don't know. I think a match to watch for myself on the entire show. Roxanne Perez and Julia. I mean,
the one I'm looking for is, well, I don't know if it's this one or the next week, but it's the Heritage Cup versus Lexus King.
Right.
And,
I think that's all.
Because that was one of the setups on this show. We saw Lexus King versus Charlie Dempsey for the Heritage Cup.
Yeah, and I think the cup was given back to Dempsey.
Correct.
In the backstage promo. So, So in the stipulation this here is it's sudden death. So they'll still have the 6 rounds, but only one fall is going to decide the cup.
Mm-hmm.
So have it as May, and then of course apparently William Regal wants nothing to do with it. So I meant to look up for New Year's Evil, but I know that we got the triple threat match also, the NXT championship. Trick Williams defending against Obafemi and Eddie Thorpe.
Correct.
So could be another excuse. Eddie Thorpe is getting underneath Oba's skin, but I think Trick comes out of that. Yep. Okay, there we go. Yep. All right. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I was getting messages. My bad. Yes, even late night hosts like us. And I know we're going to be going deep, probably close to a third hour, but, we want to cover this here. But yeah, those New Year's Eve will come up Tuesday. It's going to be a fantastic card. I think history will be made, though. I think Julia will find a way to overcome Roxanne and get the NXT women's title from her. So I think it's finally due on that.
Let's hope.
Yep. And now is OTM getting their shot at
OTM gets their tag team match too.
against Nathan
Yes.
Frazier and Axiom.
Yeah, who got best tag team of the year at the NXT awards too. So, which is rightfully so, dude. I'm sorry. Those two, Fraxium, right? Fraxium?
Yeah, Fraxium. Yeah.
They were stellar as a team this year. Like, they were the most enjoyable team to watch. I would say across the board of all wrestling.
Yeah. I agree. So, and of course, female superstar of the year is Roxanne Perez. I mean, there's really no the debate there. I mean, you have a lot of good blood that came, a lot of new blood that came in, a lot of great talent in throughout the year. But for the entire year, Roxanne pretty much had that ruled out, and
She had it on lock.
yeah, I mean, things may change in 2025 though. I mean, a lot of just great talent that's just
I really enjoyed Josh Briggs's vignette shot thing when they won the award for best match. So Obafemi, Josh Briggs, and Dijak. And he made the reference to Dijak was awesome. Like, that was good. Josh Briggs doesn't get the respect that he deserves, man.
Yeah. And Obafemi comes away with 2 awards though, because he got male superstar of the year.
Yeah. I mean, rightfully so. The dude was a juggernaut.
And then what about there was like 10 or 11 nominees for moment of the year, but moments of the year,
we all knew who was going to get it.
Bro, and this is what I was telling you though, because on TNA's the previous show, the last show of the year, they had their awards. So Joe Hendry wins NXT's Moment of the Year, but he also won TNA's Male Wrestler of the Year. So 2 different promotions, he's coming away with some awards.
History is made.
Yeah, that's impressive. So, kudos to Joe Hendry for making that. So, and then I'm pretty sure we've got that covered.
We nailed that.
The tag team Moment of the Year, yeah, and then female, yeah. So we covered all the awards there for NXT, but for New Year's Evil, gonna be quite a card again. I mean, just to have them to bring a card, even still with the CW in a 2-hour time frame. I mean, that's still pretty generous of WWE for letting NXT put this on. And I think this is still going to be done at the PC Performance Center.
I think so. I don't think they're out
yet. No, but I think it was pretty cool though. With their last shows of the year were in Lowell, Massachusetts. There's a lot of history in that building.
Dude, that building was beautiful.
That is a gorgeous building, bro.
100%.
I totally agree.
I was enjoying just the like that old, theater look for wrestling that we don't get much anymore. Even with AEW at Hammerstein, it's just like, it's what we needed. We needed the roots kind of thing to come back up through the wrestling and these promotions using the older buildings and showing it on TV is awesome.
Yeah. Like I said, but when I look at Hammerstein, I'm always thinking ECW, bro.
100%. Yeah, you get nostalgia 100%. Like, but I've always liked the theater made into a wrestling venue. You know what I'm saying? With the balconies and stuff. Like, it's a look that goes unnoticed, but it still adds so much to the venue. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. So yeah, so we'll go back to our show, at least what we had here, and go on to our next our set of discussions here.
Oh, Miss Tessa.
Yeah, so I don't know. We've been having some mixed reactions here with Tessa Blanchard coming back, and there's actually not just with the fans. We're hearing a lot here that there's going to be some changes, possibly staffing wise. Well, not say staffing wise, but talent wise, because TNA is, well, as much as we like it, they are kind of taking some cutbacks, literally some cutbacks, and that's why some of the talent is going to be going elsewhere. So this could change the pathway for that, but kind of seeing reactions that to Tessa Blanchard's return. I don't know. It's really mixed, bro. And I don't know if this is really hurting TNA or helping it. Because I can tell you that is some superstars ever think we're going to be taking the jump per se, this may not be a good idea. So I don't know.
I'm in the book that like we're overlooking things too. I believe in second chances. So
yeah, of course.
I'm all for it. There's so many wrestlers that have spoke up and fans like, hey, dude, she's apologized. And she did. She openly apologized to everybody. Like, she really did. So let it be on that side. I'm curious to see where they go. I'm curious to see if the cuts are going to hurt TNA. It could be a good thing. Remove some of these guys that deserve to go up to a bigger stage, a bigger platform that has more fingers and things. It doesn't mean we're not going to see people down there. And I don't think, I think we're still going to see the partnership between NXT and WWE. But do we see NXT utilizing people that we don't get to see on NXT? Right? You know what I'm saying? So like there might be people brewing in the NXT world that need to get more reps in, as Brandon Barretta said earlier, and they're going to go drop down to TNA, and it's not really a drop down, but go over to TNA for a little bit, get those reps in. We'll see new faces. There's different ways to look at it. I don't think it's a loss for anybody personally. I think it's just business, and that's how it's going to be. I'm curious to see. I don't know if you have it on here because I didn't see it in the itinerary, but from like TNA doing this, there's something that sparks an interest to me. And that is the possible and the rumor that NXT Level Up is getting transitioned into NXT Evolve. Could we see? Could we potentially see? NWA is already doing it with, lower promotions and stuff and making that, expanding the territory. Could we see NXT become this territory-esque vehicle for WWE, and TNA ends up becoming NXT TNA or something? You know what I'm saying? Like there's so much possibilities and undisclosed information we don't know that anything is possible. So let's just see what happens and see where it goes and where it falls. I'm glad to see Tessa back. The woman's always killed it in the ring. Is one of the best females to do it. I truly hope this is a new birth for her and we're going in a positive direction, and let's remove those negative thoughts about her. I'm all for it, and we'll see how Jordan Hart do, because Genesis, bro.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, there's been a lot of talk with Genesis. In regards to Tessa, though, we have to kind of take the approach with, even with people kind of speculating about CM Punk returning. CM Punk has just been nothing but raised the bar with his return ever since he's been there over a year now, and he's done a lot of great things. Will Tessa had that same attitude? Only time could tell. But I know that there's been some type of, reputations that were built over the years of what she's had in the past. And hopefully people can let them go. And they just move forward and they do things the right way. And as long as no personal beef is brought in, there's no drama that's been brought up that's current, then I'd say, yeah, let's go for it, man. So nothing but positivity throughout here. So, like I said, there was a lot of setting up for matches, including Moose taking on Ace Austin for the X Division title at Genesis. There's talks now of the Rascals and the Hardys.
No, that is happening.
Yeah, so that is happening.
Yep.
And I think there could have been like maybe one other match.
And isn't Jordan Grace Tessa the setup for
Jordan Grace, that has to be. And I think that Tessa is going to be the one to capitalize on that, and that possibly could be the send-off for Jordan at Genesis. So, like I said, there's been a lot of talks. She's done a lot of work with crossing over with NXT, going into NXT. She appeared at the Rumble last year with a great showing. And she's killing it in the scenes. I mean, she was even featured in ESPN's top 30 athletes of this year. So she made the list. She's making national headlines. So she'd be a fool I mean, I'm sorry, excuse me, but WWE, you'd be a fool not to get her on your roster. So
100%.
she's gone. I mean, she has done a lot. Like I said, I know Jordan Grace when she first started, and she was not in the magnificent shape she was. I mean, she was at least in a decent shape. She was okay. You know, she she was a little beefy, but she cut down, and she's really toned. So, and she's really, I mean, her move sets though are just incredible. So yeah, totally get it. And hopefully, we'll see what happens at Genesis. Like I said, that happens 2 weeks from tonight. So Genesis will be going on while we're doing our show. So We'll see. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's kind of jump into SmackDown stuff, huh? And first off, let's go ahead and take a look at this one. So this is from going to kind of some of the highlights on SmackDown. Could Drew and KO form an alliance? So there was some hinting last Monday on Raw, and then Drew showing up on SmackDown again with this opening promo with Cody in the ring, and then Drew walking up to the ring offering his help. Cody, of course, rejects the help, and then Drew says, you better watch your back, just as an advice. Next thing you know, KO is clubbing him from behind, and they're getting into a brawl between KO and Cody. So, and then, of course, there's another segment in the back, too, where Kevin Owens came across the Usos. Talk about watching your back. So, there's a lot of signs pointing, at least KO and Drew. And if they form an alliance, do we see what you projected, maybe Seth Rollins after this whole thing with CM Punk? Do we see these three guys just cause havoc between both brands? They don't care where they get transferred to.
I'm with it. I'm so with Kevin, Drew, and even Seth becoming a trio, and just wreaking havoc through WWE and all the misdeeds that they view are there, right? Because for one, these two great mic workers. Drew really, I've been listening to his promos a little bit harder since he won the reward, right?
Yeah.
to be like, did you really deserve this, my dude? And yes, he did.
Yeah. Apparently he has. So, yeah.
But for Kevin and him to be on the mic together, plus they're just those two and their abilities in the ring are just unmatched, in my opinion, when it comes to how to tell a story in the ring. So when you can hit on both cylinders, I don't see why not put them together to see if they can make some more magic and be this villainous duo that's not really, they're not villains, guys. They're not lying. Not one thing Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre have said on TV has been a lie. So
you're right. You're 100% right. So
they're just there to wreak their truth, and I love it.
Yeah, they're truth tellers, and it's all in the perception on who's good and who's evil. You know what I'm saying? It's all in the perception, and it's like I said, they have told the truth. So it's going to be quite interesting after this coming week if we get into progression in this alliance. But I still say it's
dude, give it to me.
Yeah, it's going to be, and one thing I did not put on here is, there was something posted on We Talk Wrestling, or someone had forwarded a meme of how Nakamura has not defended his title.
Yeah.
Can I just say though, it's just a day over, but besides, he did defend it over in Noah against one of their stars. And can I say that Nakamura has? I'm really loving this new transformation of Shinsuke right now. To go in this devil. I don't know if he's even been this dark. Maybe as dark he was when he was over in Japan as the heel. Because
I don't think so.
I mean, this is just really. I mean, I love the presence of his entrance. Because it's the presence of how he makes you feel when he's making an entrance, and the way that the atmosphere is, and the music and everything else, and the way that he comes into the ring. It's totally different than what he used to do. Nobody singing, nobody, singing this theme song, even though I still dig it. But but this is still, Shinsuke is on another level, and I am liking it. And of course, he
The
gets attacked by,
artistry, the
yeah,
artistry of it is what is pulling me in.
he is the artist, so he is the artist for sure. So of course, LA Knight attacks him after Shinsuke defeats Andrade, and so apparently they're having a U.S. title match next week. So, I don't know what's going to be for LA Knight after this, but I know LA Knight's not going to be getting that title, and Nakamura's going to be having it for a good while, because I'm really loving and digging what they are doing with him at this point. So, yeah, kudos to Shinsuke. I'm a big fan. Some people may not be, but I'm a big fan. Just the way that he presents himself as an artist, and how he dominates in every aspect. So,
Agreed.
Now
it's Tiffy time. Oh, that's not Tiffy.
Where is Tiffy?
That's not
Tiffy. Do it again.
That's not Tiffy either.
Oh, screw it. Let's. Oh my! How about we do this? Say, hey, thanks for screwing things up.
Is Logan Paul?
No,
we'll see Logan Paul tomorrow night, actually, if not mistaken. But yes, Tiffany Stratton wins the Money in the Bank, becoming your Stiffy time.
Yeah, so Stratton. Yeah, so that's how beautiful it was. And let me tell you, I thought that maybe she was just going to play it out, just trying to stay and try to prove herself with the alliance, but she did not fool around. And it could have not been a better scenario on how that happened. After Bianca nailed Nia Jax with the KOD, but then of course Tiffy helping Nia to get the win while the referee wasn't looking to pin Naomi.
Well, see, that adds to the layers, dude. That's adding to the story. She helped her finish, the match, get the win. She's still off balance now. Like, everything's good. Tiffy helped me. Oh, yay, we friends. And snap. Nope. I want the victory. I want it. And I can't wait. And after, I'm so happy. I'm so happy she won it, because that moron, that goof, God dang it, Vince Russo, saying that she looked weak because they were dogging her and stuff, and she hasn't stuck her face in the business, basically. Like, no, we ain't playing that game, right? No.
Wait a minute, is Russo?
Yeah, Russo was trashing her for looking weak to Candice and Nia because they kept dogging her. I was getting excited. They kept dogging her, right? So Vince Russo on his podcast was saying that she looked weak. And then all of a sudden this week she comes out and, puts the briefcase in, wins it by... Come on, dude. She ain't weak. We all repping her. We all ready for Tiff.
There's very little I agree with Vince Russo. And Mac Davis, buddy, I love you, but geez. That guy would give me that guy would give me a headache. Him and Meltzer together, you might as well just shut down the world for a day. You get Meltzer and Russo together. Just saying.
That'd be horrible. They don't like each other, though, right?
I'd be like,
they hate each other.
Dude, I'd be like unsubscribing to everything.
I'd listen to it once just to see.
I'm gonna block you. I'm gonna block you, sir.
But yeah, I'm so pumped that Tiff has it.
Yeah, no, but no. This was and this was great. Once again, this SmackDown first of the year 3-hour special. You got to make it somehow monumental. This was it, right?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. It was a great way to do it.
And I was always wondering when it was going to happen, and just Tiffy played them like a freaking fiddle, letting them freaking dog her, and that she found her spots and cashed in at the right time. Now the thing is, who's got Tiffy's back now? She had to get rid of Bianca Belair after she KO'd Nia, and then of course posted Candace the fall to the outside. So she was prone for that. But who's got her back now? She's got no. Nia's going to get that rematch.
I still say you put Pretty Deadly with her and you can make money, but I don't work for WWE.
Yeah, Pretty Deadly though. I mean, they're trying to mess up the whole tag division, trying to kiss butt with DIY.
Well, now it doesn't work, but beforehand when she was still the bad guy, because her and Pretty Deadly would have been an amazing like trio group thing where they're protecting their women's champion. Like, it would have been great. I would honestly like to see her like somehow form a friendship with Liv, but then that's still a heel. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Who has Tiff's back now? She's done so many dirty deeds to so many of the women. Like,
yeah. I don't know that this is gonna be interesting in weeks to come. Seeing Tiffy now on this. So
have a good one, Wyatt. Thank you for joining us,
guys. Wyatt, thank you, buddy. You can, like I said, once we go off the air, guys can catch the rest of it too. But we always like all of our viewers to kind of view in and chime in. Even all of our ex viewers, we love you, ex viewers. Thank you very much once again. Ex YouTube. So unfortunately, Twitch has not touched the radar tonight. So must have a lot of nerdy gamers on the start of the year. So, but I mean that in an affectionate way, guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say we were just gaming the other night.
Yeah. Like, I'm a gamer too, trust me, but I just don't game as often as I want to. So
next we go into the greatness that is Solo Sikoa in the Bloodline.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, so the Bloodline. Yes, the Bloodline. Taking dominance in that main event 6-man tag. Over I just like the sign behind Tama. The Solo Sikoa is the Timu tribal chief.
Dude, that's funny right there. That one's so good.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
People be dogging Solo. Solo's done a great job in his role.
Have you seen all the reels about everybody's loving his entrance music and how they come down the street? I think I sent you the one about Carlton doing the dance.
I'm digging the whole "I love you" Solo stuff, from Jacob right when he comes out. Like,
that was a good promo that Jacob did before it came out. That was an awesome promo.
I'm sorry, I like this version of Bloodline. I know it's not what everybody was I don't know what people are thinking, but they get so much dogged on the internet, and it's like, guys, they are doing so well in this role, and I feel like we're watching the future Samoan dynasty like in front of us. I really do with these three and Tangaloa.
Yeah, Tangaloa. He's on the shelf right now.
Yeah, he hurt himself really good.
Wasn't that in War Games he hurt himself?
Yeah, it was
That's
War
what
Games.
I thought.
Yeah. Jimmy should be back here soon though. After that broke. Oh no, he was back. Never mind. His broken toe ain't broken anymore, or ain't as bad.
Yeah, he did.
They got. That's why they lost. It was Jimmy's toe's fault.
Yeah. You didn't have any magic in that kick with that broken toe, Jimmy.
No, it was a great show. If the 3 hours flew by, so if it's going to keep being like that, I'm all for it. It didn't really feel bogged down too bad.
They have more matches. Dude, let's talk. How do you like that look of the canvas? Is that going to be the look of the canvas from here on out?
I kind of hope they stay with it because I dig it.
That's different, and I do like it. It's not a dark blue. It's all takes me back because the WWF had kind of like this canvas in some of their house shows in the 80s.
Yeah, I dig the dark canvas, so I'm with it.
So I like this color blue. I like it. So
and it sets them apart. So
yeah.
How do you what's going to be for Raw? Do we please don't do a red canvas?
Yeah, please don't do it. Go to Red Ropes if anything else for Netflix. Just go to Red. I'd rather go to Red Ropes. Yeah,
I am excited to see what Raw has in store for the the 6th. That's gonna be crazy. I'm definitely watching live, 100%. for sure. How does? Forgot about him going to be there, but god dang,
So
John Cena coming back.
So let's talk about it, man. This whole with this is what's scheduled for Raw, and if I can get my line off.
How did you feel about the being tweeted out today that Raw will have no time frame? Like it's going to be.
I dig it. If they don't handle set, so they can go anywhere between 2 and 3 hours. They can do like a 2.5 hour show. I mean, whatever.
I'm actually cool with that for sure. Like 2.5 hours, man. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. So I mean, there's 5 features that are in here that's been advertised. Of course, there could be more, but I do like it though. I mean, I will be kind of seeing what I can do to play hooky from my job to kind of see if I can watch it live, but we'll see. Thank you very much, job. I didn't need that. But yeah, the debut on Monday. Yeah, this is going to be something else with Raw, live on Netflix. And I was actually watching the NFL games on Christmas Day, where the when they had them on, and I didn't see any issues. And this is the NFL, so I don't see an issue with people, whoever's going to want to watch this or stream this. There's not going to be an issue. So
I don't think so. I think it'll be great.
Yeah, they learned their lesson with Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. So, so you got to catch that bandwidth, Netflix, and they got it though. So, John Cena's first stop farewell tour. I'm pretty much sure this is going to be a long promo. I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble and yada yada yada, and we're going to miss you guys, but I'm going to hang up the jorts and who knows. And, I don't know if he's going to continue past WrestleMania, though. That's the whole thing. Is he? Because I haven't heard much past WrestleMania.
I have no idea.
So this farewell tour is only going to start now, and it's going to go through April. I mean, we're looking at 3.5 months of John Cena. But I would think he probably would have stopped at SummerSlam. But, because SummerSlam's a 2-night event, in the Meadowlands. So I don't know. We'll see. But I'm interested to see how this promo is going to go. I mean, like I said, John Cena has done a lot for the business. So, so I'll be waiting for that. But what about
still
the
better.
next one here?
Drew versus Jay because he tacked Jay.
Yeah, like I said, this has been ongoing for a little bit here. So once again, Jay had confronted KO in the back, saying, "You better watch your back." Do we see KO here, kind of getting to the Usos tomorrow night? Anything could happen. So, I mean, KO did show up on that kickoff party with the Winged Eagle title. So I mean,
yeah, they did.
He could just show up if he wants. So. Drew McIntyre, though, it's either going to be a no contest or Drew's going to be taking the W on this. So, yeah. Let's see. So our next one. Here we go, bud.
Mommy's winning. Mommy's winning. Mommy gets her belt back.
You think she gets her belt back? I mean,
well, I think the tension within Judgment Day, as we've been seeing, is going to be what is the catalyst for her losing the title.
So you see Finn sticking his nose in this match
potentially
while it's going on?
Yeah. I potentially see Finn getting involved.
Even possibly Dom. What if Dom causes Liv to lose and Rhea, but it could be by accident though. What
but
if
then Liv
Dom messes up trying to
bros, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we all make mistakes, I mean,
it could be about the bros.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I don't know if we see Judgment Day fall apart that big quite yet. But yeah, it's something's coming between that group.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
And Miss Rhea's going to reap the benefit.
Right. Yep. So, why not? I'm honestly torn to see what's going to happen here, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did this on the launch of Netflix that we see history made.
I'm not going to lie, too. It's going to bother me a little bit because, like Damian Priest with the world title and Gunther took it, Liv's done so well with it that I don't know if I'm ready for the belt to be taken off of her.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Like I said, it could cause a ruffle because we got to see a ruffle. We got to have a big moment on this launch of Raw on Netflix.
We're not going to have one, dude. I'm telling you right now,
At least one we need.
This Raw is going to be a fireworks show. I have a feeling.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot going on.
You are going to be
sure.
like, what the? I truly believe we're walking away from Netflix this Monday night like this. Like, I'm not going to lie you. That is how it's going to end. And quote me on if you want. We are having our minds blown when it comes to what WWE's plan for the future really is. This is going to be a catalyst for a whole new WWE in some takes.
Yeah, like I said, this is only a start of a 5-year deal, so they're going all the way through 2029 on this.
Yeah, it's going to have to be big, dude. Think about like Mike Tyson showing up to WWE when he did that time, like how mind blowing that was, or Muhammad Ali being asked to come in and ref, and like how crazy of an idea and thought. Like that's what I'm talking right now. We're going to see big things happen on this Raw.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I really am. And I, it's going to be available the next day to watch too. So, that's what I like too as well. If you happen to miss something or you want to relive something from the night previous, just go back and watch it again tomorrow or on Tuesday. So now these are the two big matches here. I'm willing to bet that this is not going to be the last match, even though
I would put the women.
Well, the women are
no. That wouldn't be the women at all. It'd be Tribal Chief.
Right.
Yeah.
So, this has gone on for a little while. So this has been going on for about a year off and on, of course, CM Punk being injured for about 4 of those months. But like I said, Seth freaking Rollins and CM Punk heated up. What a great promo to close out the USA Dynasty for being on Monday Night Raw. It was a great probably. And didn't say Stone Cold say that that was probably one of the best promos he's heard.
Yeah, he was very pleased with both men in the promo because dude, that was the storyline between these two and the conversations that have led up here and how we've gotten here. Seth being so vocal on not only WWE TV but social media, all kinds of other things, podcasts, He has legitimately called this man a cancer, so we don't know where the line is and isn't for this one. Like, this is just beautifully done. We had the banger that CM Punk and Drew gave us to lead us to this point. Where does Seth and CM Punk go from here with it is going to be crazy because Punk has his target is on that main event for WrestleMania. Yeah, so
absolutely. So, yeah, and then before we kind of talk about the tribal combat that's going to be coming up, let's recap a little bit with what happened last week because we had a lot of attacks. Other than that, and with Pete Dunne attacking R-Truth, and then of course we got Sheamus attacking Ludwig Kaiser. Like I said, Drew McIntyre, that led up to this match with Jey Uso. So, there's a lot of attacks, though. But one notable thing, though, and I'm excited for it, but it's not going to happen until January 13th, though, is the finals for the Women's Intercontinental Championship with my girl, Dakota Kai, who I called, who's going to win this, facing Lyra Valkyria.
I don't know, man.
I'm calling still Dakota Kai.
I hope you're right, 100%. Like, I'm with you on Dakota winning, but WWE management has a thing for Valkyria.
Yeah.
I don't understand it yet, so whatever. I'm gonna let bygones be guy. I want Dakota to win it. Dakota's my pick too. She wasn't really. I still kind of lean on the fact that I was kind of hoping Natalya would be the first one. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know she doesn't need it, blah blah blah, but it just would have been cool for her to win it, and then maybe have people come out and celebrate with her, and then we could have had a turn from somebody, like, and got it off her quick. But I'm okay with Dakota winning it. Dakota is my final pick.
Right.
I'm not a Valkyria fan.
Yeah.
Not that she's bad.
No, I don't think she's bad either, but I've been more of a Dakota Kai fan. I've been a big fan of her since she showed up at the Mae Young Classic and then carried on through NXT. And
correct.
I've been through there. From the moment she went into WWE, I've been watching.
I'm still disappointed we didn't get to see a lot of Tegan Knox.
Yeah, very, very disappointed. Very disappointed in that, but I guess we can avoid that. So but no, I'll be looking forward to that match in 2 weeks.
2 weeks
for that Women's Intercontinental Championship final. Another big moment for Raw on Netflix on January 13th. But then let's go ahead and talk about I believe will be our main event. And this is big because Solo addressed Paul Heyman, who gave a promo out at the center of the ring, which, God, I about lost it when Paul started talking again after
15 seconds away from peeing my pants.
The crowd about lost it too. Oh my God, he's
one of the best, dude.
Yes, he is, and he's still teaching others as we speak. So, so Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, man, this is going to be big. And then, of course, the winner will have Paul Heyman present the Ula Fala to the winner. Like, so this is no rules. This is tribal combat. Anything goes. So this could go wild, man. So you never know. I mean, the Bloodline's going to get involved. The Usos and Sami Zayn are going to get involved. That's my feeling. Because they're trying to make sure they want their preferred leader to take this. So
this is going to be an all-out beatdown. Period.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So
we're going to see everybody and anybody, because let me see if I can find it here. Why am I on switch?
Yeah, Herb, good evening to Herb Simmons, who's joined us here.
It's very nice to see Mr. Herb.
Yes. Yeah. So, I know. But, so, as far as scenarios here, what happens if Roman loses? And how would Roman lose? There's got to be some type of assistance some way, because I do not see Solo straight up defeating Roman Reigns.
No, because if I can,
like I said, there are no rules. So anybody could come in and assist or help out or beat down. I wouldn't think there'd be any turns, but there has to be some type of surprise that maybe pops up.
The Rock showing up. There was a tweet earlier today. I know it got sent to me. I'm trying to find it.
If the final boss shows up, that place is going to erupt, and I guarantee you, the bandwidth Netflix is going to have is going to be.
Where did I see that?
Yeah. Oh man, but no.
He did get seen with Ava the other day, too.
Oh yeah,
the carpet event they did.
Right. Yep. So, picking a winner, my friend. Who do you think really takes this?
I want to say it's Roman, but they've kind of done such a good job with this whole thing that, what if they do pull the trigger and give it to Solo? Like there is that very big what if that lingers over so long. I'm going Roman Reigns 100%. I got to say the real tribal tree is going to take his position back at the head of the table because that's going to cue into the next stage. Like, you know, Paul Heyman, what was it, a while back said we're at the third inning of a baseball game, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying we're at the sixth or the seventh inning now on this storyline. Like this, to think this storyline has spanned, what, 5 years? Going on 6 years now?
Yeah, about 4.5, close to 5. Yeah.
5 years. Okay, so I'm way off. My bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it started around the pandemic.
I've lost track because it's been that damn good. So, but to think about that, like, we're about to head into the next stage of this storyline. The Rock coming back has to be that next storyline. Rock versus Roman. It has to happen. But in that tweet that I was trying to mention, The Rock legitimately talks about how he's been the tribal chief for the whole time and has been carrying it around the world, doing movies, doing press like everything. So, I mean, who's arguably the real tribal chief? We know it's not Solo right now.
Right.
It's coming down. WrestleMania, we're having a tribal combat match, Rock versus Roman Reigns. And that's my prediction, period.
Whew. Yeah. Like I said, these first 4 months in WWE are going to be really, really turning heads between Netflix, leading up to the Rumble, leading up to Elimination Chamber, and then all the weeks leading up to the big two, to everything in WrestleMania week in Vegas, 2 nights there. It's going to be pretty much, dude, it's going to be something else. I can't put my finger on, where this is going to go. My heart says Roman, but my gut is saying you might want to think about that.
Oh no, that's literally how I feel about it, dude. Like, we can't be sleeping on Solo right now. We really can't.
I'm not sleeping on Solo. No, I'm not going to. This is not going to be a dominant win in any way, shape, or form. This is going to be a battle to the end. There's going to be more than one person involved. Like I said, this launch episode is going to blow the roof off the Intuit Dome tomorrow night, and I'm telling you, this is going to be an event that's going to be trying to compete with the viewer ratings than the Tyson Paul fight. I'm putting my money on that now. It's gonna, dude, because they're a worldwide brand.
Yeah,
they're a worldwide brand.
I'm not saying
anyone that's watching Netflix at this point, they want to see the live. They want to see the live Raw. They're not going to wait. So they're going to, Saudi Arabia, everything in the Middle East, over in Asia, in all the other continents where the WWE's been to. They are.
Man, wonder how that feels, because like we hear from like the UK people all the time. Like when I watch podcasts all over, right? So
yeah,
in the UK when they're talking over there about how they have to wait for Raw even now, like until the next day, or or how I have to wait until Sunday or Monday morning for New Japan stuff, because that's when it gets over here for us to watch. Like, so to think about that, it's crazy that this is going to just be like, boom, the first one to go full nation, same time cast, boom.
Yeah, absolutely.
And isn't, correct me if I'm wrong, Raw is the longest episodical TV show to ever be on a network, correct?
Yeah, it's just longest episodic TV, weekly show, period.
Right.
So
and they're leaving TV to go to streaming. Like, we are watching history. When it comes to the television world, we're watching history divulge right in front of our eyes.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, the USA started Raw back in 1993 and ended its cable network broadcasting at the end of 2024. So they had completed 31 years on cable. And most of it on USA. Of course, it went to CNN, Spike,
I'm not gonna lie, Ruby. This has me right now like feeling like what the people back in the day had to feel like when wrestling went from black and white to color.
Yeah.
Because that happened. That there's a wrestling that was on TV at that time when it went black and white too. I can't remember what promotion it was.
Yeah.
Because I watched a video about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said,
because I Love Lucy was another one of them. I'm not mistaken that was on. Was it I Love? Yeah, it was I Love Lucy. I think because she like walks through the black and white into the color.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh my god. Yeah. You're
when they just turned like on that. They had. See, I like this kind of stuff. This is like corny fun to me in some sense when it comes to that. Like, so I went back and watched all the shows that were on TV when black and white went to color for the first time, and like the wrestling one was literally like it was just black and white and then boom color. There was no like no seamless thing. But I Love Lucy. She like walked through the door, and when she walked through the door, it was color. Like she was in the kitchen, went into the living room, and it was color. And that's how they started color TV with I Love Lucy. Yeah. Fun fact.
Yeah. So, like you said,
we already talked about that, man. It's Roman Reigns.
Yeah. So we're gonna go with Roman, and if we're wrong, then I there better be a big ass surprise. That's all I'm gonna say.
You're doing a moonsault in sky.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till there's about 6 kids on a trampoline at a Sky Zone, and I'm gonna do a moonsault from a higher trampoline.
I'm not gonna let
one of them off.
I'm not gonna let Brandon leave this one down, bro. That was so funny.
What did I get myself into tonight? Oh. I have no idea.
That's why you keep us around. We keep you young.
Shoot. So, man, but no, big week coming up once again. Tomorrow night, Raw is Netflix. Tuesday night, New Year's Evil, CW. Of course, All Elite Wrestling. Did they? Are they just exclusive to streaming, or are they still on TBS?
No, All Elite Wrestling has went. This past Wednesday was their first actual stream. They did HBO and TBS at the same time. Yeah, so you can watch it on live on
Max and TBS.
Yep.
And so simulcasting. And right now they only got their TV shows for AEW are Dynamite and Collision. Rampage.
Correct. And it's all the backdated stuff. So it's all this like during the pandemic and stuff when when AEW was actually really good before they got the little hiccup.
Yeah. And go back to previous I was just thinking today when I was thinking of TNA stuff and I'm watching vintage stuff on if you do get TNA Plus, do you get all the stuff back when
yes.
the NWA TNA days?
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, yes.
So when they first started.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
When we had 3 Life Crew and we had
all the good stuff. Ron Killington's as champion, like all the good stuff. Yeah, all the good stuff.
Punk with the stringy blonde hair and
with Raven
and the trim shorts.
And Daphne.
Oh man.
It was all good stuff. Such good. Oh my god, that stuff was so good then.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, all the good WCW that got blown off.
Yeah, literally all the good WCW guys went to TNA.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had nowhere else to go because it was crap, and
thank you, Jeff Jarrett.
Executives didn't want wrestling, so yeah. And then, of course, like I said, SmackDown Friday night. We'll see if there's any recourse from Tiffany winning that title. If Nia and Candace
Nia's going to be pissed.
They're going to be on a witch hunt for Tiffy.
Nia is not going to be happy.
Man, it just keeps getting better and better. Of course, TNA on Thursday night. And we'll kind of go over. Oh, don't forget, I will make recontact, but I believe we do have Nathaniel Grayson as our special guest next Sunday for episode number 176. And so we'll just keep posting on, keep looking on our Facebook page for announcements on that. And with that being done, man, I think we have done quite a fantastic job. Yes, we've gone a little long, but we had a great interview with Brandon Barretta. If you missed any part of it, go back and watch it when the archive pulls up at YouTube and Facebook and X. and then you'll get to hear all the backstories of the moonsault that I have to do. So, and it's fabulous. Yeah, you don't want to miss it.
Hit that like, subscribe,
Yeah.
and make sure you tweet Brandon Barretta for us.
Yeah, Brandon Barretta. Yes. Just look for Brandon Barretta on the outlets. You should be able to find him on YouTube. And oh my,
yeah, I got new toys.
Is that your new one?
Well, this is my son's actually, but it is Papa Shango as in the He-Man collection.
And the
Yeah, he has a Rey Mysterio too. So Rey Mysterio in the He-Man collection.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
But no! Before we leave, look. Who wrestled as this?
Oh, is that the Sultan? Of course, Quiche wrestled this Sultan.
Yeah, the Quiche. I'm pretty pumped to put this on my wall, man. And then I got a new pop collection, and this one's actually really cool. And my mother-in-law was like, "It's just like one we found."
Oh my lord! Is that Edge and Kane?
It's Pop Kane and Pop Edge. I mean Cope. Sorry, we got to call him Cope now.
Oh, that's right.
So dumb. Adam Copeland was too wordy, he said.
Well, cope means like
cope.
It sounds like you're trying to put yourself you're trying to make yourself better from a tragedy. Let's cope with it. Yikes. Oh well. Just call you Adam and get it over with. Cope.
There's too many Adams. Lord.
Cope is it? Had to break out the song.
Some pretty cool scores. My son did give me his Roman Reigns because he got a new one. So I got his Shield Roman. So he gave me the version of Roman Reigns that I don't like.
Thanks a lot, son. Oh,
That's
my goodness.
Right. That's all right. It's the thought that counts.
That's all right. It's the thought that counts. Yeah. So.
But yeah, it was a long night, but it was well worth it.
Guys, if you've not done so already, make sure you're following and subscribing to all of our platforms on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X, where we broadcast every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Central. We got a lot of big things going on. Of course, I'll be at ACW Saturday, and then we'll see what happens here, because like I said, I don't know, this guy that they got me lined up with. It's if I play dirty, this guy's actually played dirty, and I don't know. It just seems it's not my cup of tea with this guy. I don't know.
Thank you, Mystery Deck. Proud to have you guys here, man.
Yeah, man.
Thanks
We're always happy to have you guys here.
I love my toys, man. If you get on We Talk Wrestling, you'll always see me posting about fig collections and stuff, because I'm a huge fan. And Zack Ryder and not Zack. I always want to call him Matt Cardona and Brian Myers. Those two guys with their fig collection, man, I would love to go toy hunt with him. That was one thing I wanted to do with Ethan Page so bad, was going on a toy hunt. We love you too, yeah. Mike.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, so yeah, that would have been cool, man, if you had the opportunity. But at this point, we're going to have the opportunity to get some rest and watch tomorrow night and get it all kicked off again. And we'll come back here with Nathaniel Grayson tomorrow, next Sunday. And then we'll do our review of Raw on Netflix and all the big happenings from the major promotions. And you might get some updates over the ACW at the beginning of next week's show. So that being said, how about we get out of here, bro?
Dude, it's a good time. Thank you guys. We love you
guys. We love you. We appreciate you very much. And tune in here next Sunday night, 9 p.m. Central.
Don't be a cunt, man.
Yo, how you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? Going to bed. Scott, thanks for showing up, man. We're getting ready to leave.
See you, buddy. Go back and rewatch it.
We've been here almost 3 hours. We go now.
Clint just entered the room.
Oh, yeah. Great timing, guys. You guys will see you next.
Zmiz is canceled gaming. Here are some more.
Yes. Oh, my God.
It's been a good time.
Have a good night, guys. Good night.